Welcome back to the Life Podcast. It's me and Kunteng again. Today we're back
What's up?
with our special guest. Today we got Johnathan right here.
How are you?
Johnathan?
How are you, Johnathan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. Johnathan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So just the mic is good, right?
The mic is good. Don't worry.
Cool. So a little bit about myself. I was born here. I went back to Hong Kong. I grew up there for like 12 years of my life, and I came here for school, for studying. Basically, my parents wanted me to go to school here just to get like some education, graduate uni, hopefully go back to Hong Kong, and then basically like help out with the family. That's so far, but things didn't turn out like as what is expected to be. So I actually dropped out of uni. So I don't know.
Hustlers University.
third year. So I feel like it wasn't really for me.
What were you doing in uni?
I was doing like business management.
The
classic?
the classic,
bro. The classic.
The classic.
Business management.
The double business. The classic. I don't know what I'm doing.
It was
so.
a little bit too much. It wasn't really for me. So so I just.
Did you
dropped
major
it.
in anything? Like what do you major in? Like finance?
Oh no,
accounting?
shit! It wasn't business management. It was hospitality, whatever.
Oh, it's hospitality and tourism.
Oh, tourism.
Yeah, hospitality and tourism.
The cheap, the shit one.
Yeah.
Not as good as the BM. So eventually I dropped out. I didn't really tell my parents. I started, looking for jobs and stuff like that.
You didn't tell them?
I didn't tell them. And
Do they know now?
Of course they know.
Oh, okay.
Of course they know.
Maybe they're watching.
Yeah, they're probably watching.
Yeah, they're probably watching. You don't know. So yeah, afterwards, like I dropped out. I didn't tell anybody. So I've just been working. I started working at Canadian Tire for like a little bit. And I eventually September rolls around and everything, and then my parents.
That's after you dropped out. You got
after I dropped out, like within a month or two, I started looking for jobs because I need money coming in, right? So I started working Canadian Tire, that kind of thing, and then September rolled around, right? I got a call from my mom, just catch up and see how I'm doing. I don't usually communicate with my mom that much, and it's like, hey, like how's it going? How's everything? I'm like, oh yeah, like by the way, I've just been working. I'm not in school anymore.
You just
I just blew it out, and then she was like, what the fuck, like what happened, right? And I just had a conversation, like, it wasn't really for me. And then she got a little bit upset. She's like, oh, like, look. But she was, like, pretty, like, chill about it. Like, I remember our last conversation, like, what she said was, like, hey, look, like, Johnathan, I don't know what you're going to do with your life, but, like...
The classic.
Make sure you're fine, like, I don't want to see...
Honestly, that's like...
That's good.
For, like, Asian parents, I think
yeah,
that's
it wasn't
yeah,
so bad.
that's
It wasn't
very
so
good.
bad, right? And then,
Dude, like, school is everything to them.
That is education.
Yeah. I feel like you have to look at it this way though, because back then, like all they knew was education. There was no internet back
Same
then.
thing,
Right?
yeah.
So versus compared to us, now that we have internet access and everything, right? We're able to see like I guess everybody, right?
Yeah.
Through the internet, we're able to see exactly rich, poor people, or whatever, right? Anybody, right? Can see how their life is like.
Exactly,
so there's like more out there than like just like stuck there.
Bro, it's not just like get a degree and like
Yeah.
solid job or like
Yeah.
life, but honestly, like a lot of Asian parents, like they're hardcore on studying, but like as same thing with Johnathan, like my parents, I'm very lucky to have parents that like if I drop out, I would probably get a similar response as Jonathan's. Like I feel like they trust me enough that if I drop out, I can like
there's an excuse for
try to do something for myself. I'm not dropping out because I'm lazy. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
My mom was telling me to drop out since beginning of time.
No way.
Yeah, no, because she's like, you're not fit for school, bro. I think you go to the workforce real quick.
Start working.
Because I worked very young, right? So she was like, yo, I think you're
working since what? Since
13. So she's like, I think you're fit for hustling. I'm like, I don't know if I'm that fit for hustling.
Yeah.
So she wanted me to drop out since ever, but since forever.
Crazy. Yeah, and I started, working with Aaron for like a little bit. We used to work in the cell phone industry together, selling cell phones, and that's how I got to know Aaron, and here we are.
That's it. And honestly, like, I feel like what really bonded was the hate for the company.
Oh, true. Me too. I work in the exact same.
Mutual hatred for the company you work for.
Yeah,
is
we all hate the
the
company.
best way to like become friends with your coworkers.
Yeah. We all hate the company. We all hate our jobs.
But you gotta watch out. Like a lot of people, from work, like from company that I work from, love the job a lot and will literally snake you.
Ooh.
So you gotta watch out, like who you're talking like shit If I'm talking shit about the company Johnathan, it's fine. But if it's a guy who's like super loyal, dude, that guy's gonna rat on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta watch out. You know what I mean? But
I feel like it's a good thing though, just because even though you got snake or whatever, I feel like you're able to tell exactly like what kind of like different
kind of person they are.
what kind of person they are, and
Yeah.
different people you're dealing with. Literally, just like happened like recently, like 2 weeks ago. Like I was actually sick.
yeah.
So my manager doesn't like people working from home. So he basically messaged me as like, hey, I messaged him. I was like, hey, like I kind of wasn't really feeling that well. I kind of want to work from home tomorrow. Is that okay? Right?
You said that.
I said that.
Okay.
I messaged him right on text, and then he basically told me, "Is like, yeah, like you can like we'll talk about it. We'll see how it goes like next morning, and then we'll see. Like, let me know whatever, right?" I already knew right away that he doesn't seem he doesn't seem like he wants me to work from home.
Yeah,
That kind of text,
Yeah.
that kind of tone. So that's fine. Obviously I was really sick. I didn't want to get anybody sick, but whatever, right? So the next morning I messaged him. I was like, hey, listen, like I know you don't really want me. I never said that. I basically said like, hey, like I'm actually really sick. Like I want to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want me to come in, I can come in. But just know that I'm sick. I could get everybody sick. I could have cared less, right?
That's
But,
yeah,
I mean, whatever, right?
yeah,
So
that's-
I frame it in a way. I was trying to frame it in a way where it's like it will make him look bad.
That's good.
By forcing
That's
me to
honestly
come in.
really good,
By
yeah.
forcing me to come in, right? So like I feel like by learning different type of people, like whatever, you're able to grasp like be able to get like leverages. Like through communication.
Use it against them.
Use it against them, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Obviously, not in a bad way. Obviously, like use it like in a good way, like when you really need it to, right? So that's why I feel like having like really strong communication skills is such a helpful tool in like.
I mean, just just having the skill set to understand people.
Yeah.
Right. Like you can use it a lot because especially at work, like if you just join and like you don't know anybody, you're kind of in an awkward spot. If you have a really good like understanding of people, it's gonna help you become more comfortable in the workplace, right?
Mhm.
Like this guy is that, this guy's that.
Yeah.
So like you're able to like chill more. Like yeah, I know what I'm doing.
I mean, this
I know
comes
you guys
with
physically.
practice though, like because nowadays like they don't teach you that in school.
No, but the
this
thing
is like
the
skills
thing is,
like
as I said, like school is like a bunch of textbooks, like you're reading from them,
Yeah.
right? A lot of basic stuff, but like things like common sense are not like they're not taught in school anymore.
Yeah, they're not as common anymore.
That's why
a
degrees
lot
not
of-
everything,
That's
guys.
what I mean. But I mean, like a lot of people these days don't have common sense, you know.
Yeah.
And especially a lot of people are more reliant on technology, social media. A lot more people are not like. They're not really involved in reality per se.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, because like they're more on social media on their phones. You know, they know how to work TikTok or Instagram, but they don't know how to like have a real conversation with someone. Does that make sense?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you look at 20 years or 30 years ago, it's really common that everybody is able to talk to people like in person because
Yeah.
there's no phones back in the day.
That's
right?
what I mean. It's like these days, a lot like what's lacking is communication skills. Right? A lot of people don't have them anymore. And I feel like working, like starting off in a retail or like a customer service job for a person, like a 19-year-old, like let's say you're fresh out of high school or you are in high school, if you start off in retail, customer service, it's really great experience because your communication skills, like they become like very good.
Yeah.
You know, you learn how to deal with people.
But it's harder nowadays though to like get into a first job being retail. Like
it's pretty easy, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, actually,
if we're talking fast food retail, you can probably get
oh
a
yeah,
job
fast food,
anywhere.
yeah.
Like any sort of retail is honestly super easy to get into.
It wasn't that hard when I
The
got
thing is,
started.
retail before, like I had a lot of coworkers who like were very old, like their career was retail. That was because back in the day, if you work retail, minimum wage, all this type of like stuff, you had job security, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you made enough money with minimum wage to like afford a house.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
my coworker the other day was telling me, if you work minimum wage like in 1980 or some shit, after 4 years of working minimum wage, you're able to afford a down payment for the house. Like
that's
here,
not-
if I work retail for 30 years, I'm just gonna look at.
You're still not getting a down payment for the house. The living expense is too high. The living expense.
It doesn't catch up to each other, you know. Like
That's why we're escaping the matrix.
Yeah.
Check 300 weeks. I'm a sellout.
Like if you really look at the time frame, like back then, it's like there is a line that's like going up, like an invisible
what I
line
mean.
that's going up.
Yeah.
So if you're making below like whatever the line is happening, you're not really making enough for yourself or for like
the thing is
anything
like,
to do anything.
in this
basically.
current like day and age, right? Like there basically before there were 3 like classes: the low income, the middle, and then, the high, like the top 1%, something like that. But now, the middle class has been on a decline for a very long time. There is no middle class anymore. It's either you're poor or
you're rich.
right? The rich get richer, and in this day,
The poor get poor, the rich get richer.
poorer, the rich get richer.
Yeah.
There's so many things for the poor to the poor I feel so bad for them, just because they get targeted by the rich become rich because of the poor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're farming money.
Exactly.
They're farming off.
Exactly.
The rich people. Okay, so the rich people essentially is just the middle class people who have who have opportunities to farm. To farm the middle poor people.
Yeah.
And then make them poor. Like the reason why the middle high could go to high is because they're farming the middle poor to go poor. That's literally
And
it.
what's it called? For 300 weeks, the challenge we were doing.
Yeah.
I think weeks 3 to 11, I was negative.
Yeah.
Right. I was living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
I would literally get my paycheck and pay my credit card off.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now it was good because I paid off the whole amount. I didn't incur any interest.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine it wasn't a challenge. Imagine that was actually my life. And let's say I had an emergency expense and I couldn't pay my credit card in full.
Mm-hmm.
That shit stacks up.
Yeah,
It's 22% interest or something.
Yeah, credit card
22%.
interest is
Like,
insane.
Bro, how is a guy who can barely afford to pay his credit card gonna escape the matrix or even just live a happy life?
Yeah.
We live in a planet that meme it was a monkey asking a human you guys pay to live in this place?
Oh
Or
yeah,
something.
the alien, right? Was it the alien?
No, it was a monkey. It was a monkey,
I don't know.
and it was it was talking to humans. It was why are you guys paying to live in this this shithole?
Yeah. And this is Earth right now.
But what was it? So it's June 23. What was it? What's it called? I think 2 days ago or some shit. The submarine.
Submarine.
The submarine.
The Titanic, right?
Yes.
You paid 100, whatever, 50K.
250K.
250K to go up.
cross.
Yeah.
I saw on Instagram. There was they're is it a coincidence that in the submarine there was a billionaire and 2 million? They were all millionaires plus plus the CEO. They were what if they faked their deaths to become tax free forever?
Ooh.
Because they're dead, right?
That's
They're
true.
not paying tax anymore.
That's true.
Right? So what if they said, is it really a coincidence that all these guys got together?
That's true. Yeah, suddenly they just all died.
Yeah.
And they just all died,
On the ship.
That's a lot of money in that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the videos
I haven't seen the videos.
for the submarine, how badly it was assembled. So you know how if you're below, if you're underwater, it's there's a lot of water pressure.
Yeah, the water pressure.
For the bolts to secure the submarine, they didn't use machines. They
They did the handball, right?
You know when you're taking out a tire,
Yeah.
you put the wrench,
And then they do that.
They did that for the submarine. It wasn't a machine.
And these are billionaires, millionaires.
These are billionaires. Why would you not want to make sure?
So apparently, what I heard, that I saw this YouTube video. They were talking about submarine, how the submarine was whatever being built. Apparently, you just compare that submarine compared to a 1995 Honda Civic. That's how old the submarine.
Oh shit!
Are we talking parts?
The actual submarine that sunk into the sea or ocean, whatever, right? And also the guy who was responsible for, I guess, controlling the submarine, the pilot, whatever you want to call it. He was controlling it with the Xbox controller.
Huh?
It was a Logitech controller.
Logitech.
What the fuck?
I saw a video of it online, and it was the gray black Logitech controller from Walmart.
Yeah.
It's
So just put into a perfect perspective, right? Imagine this: you're paying 250K, just a ticket to go into the submarine, trusting your life to somebody who's who's operating the entire submarine with a fucking controller.
The thing is, right?
One-way ticket to hell, bro.
Would you do it?
Nah, bro.
Would you do it?
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it either.
The thing is, even if I was rich, I would never take such a risk on my life.
Yeah.
Like, let's say I was a billionaire, and then there was like a new program. Let's get into space. Land in the
SpaceX,
Mars or whatever.
Yeah.
I would wait until everybody
Yeah.
goes to space, and then I'll go once it's fully safe. Because I worked my ass off my whole life making this money, and you want me to die by
there's a chance, even if there's a slim
by
chance.
me being the test subject.
Yeah.
I'm not saying my life is worth more than anybody, but I work so
It's
hard.
you're worth more than you technically are.
I know what I mean.
Essentially, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're at the end of the day, we're all humans. You know, you can have more money than me, but we're the same life.
We're just humans. Yeah.
At the same life. You know what I mean? Not money wise.
Yeah.
Right. But why would I do that? I did everything in my life. I sacrificed so many things just so I could be the test run. But like on that note, what's it called? The submarine thing, right? I don't know if it's real. I don't check the sources when I go on Instagram.
I don't. I look at the Instagram. So, and I just saw the news.
I look at the post, and then I look at the comments. Right. In the comments, they were like, I don't know if this is true. This submarine has made 3 trips and back to the Titanic.
Using the Logitech controller?
Yes. And the one time that it snaps is when there's all millionaires and billionaires there.
It could be an inside job though when you think about it.
The thing is, what their scientific reason was, what I mean is the other guy in the comment section.
The other guy in the comment section.
The next reply.
In the comment section.
He said, "You're so stupid because the submarine, it kept wearing down. It went 3 times already. The bolts were not, good. The parts weren't good, so it wore down eventually.
And they didn't decide to fix it when there's billionaires going on the submarine. That doesn't make sense.
That's what I mean. But at the same time, you guys saw this dude was or the CEO. A lot of people were telling him, "Yo, you're gonna kill someone."
Yeah, they were advised not to go just because apparently the weather condition was bad. Everything was bad. They were advised not to go.
I didn't even see that part. I just saw the 250 pay the 250 ticket to one way ticket to hell. That's all I saw.
Bro, holy, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know though. It's just a weird thing.
Some conspiracy behind that.
I don't know what it is.
True.
Honestly, I would rather live a life simple. Right, not rich, simple life, as long as I'm alive.
A happy life.
I don't want to die early, and be rich.
Really?
You don't want to be the richest people in the grave. That's
I don't want.
So you don't want to.
I'm not trying to get my point across.
You're trying. You don't want to live to 50, but have
no, sorry, not that. I'd rather be broken alive than be dead and rich.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be like that,
I don't know, that way.
Yeah. But I feel like you can do both. You can be.
I'd rather live.
You can be young, happy, and rich.
Sorry, it doesn't matter about the age. That was my bad. I don't really care about the age,
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
Okay, I feel like money to a certain extent has no correlation to your happiness.
It doesn't. No.
It doesn't.
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like
it's the base of happiness.
I feel like even though I'm 20, I'm only 20, right? And I always say I'm going through something
the rebellious phase.
I'm only 20. There's not much I can really go through, but I've had a lot of what's it called? All my expenses are covered. I don't pay for my house, going to work, all this type of stuff, and I had a lot of money to spend. And I wouldn't say I was the richest person in the world, but after buying a certain amount of things, after spending on this and that, there's a cap to how much money can buy your happiness, And that's why I always say money doesn't buy happiness. Because it doesn't, It just gives you a little bit of what's that called?
Fulfillment.
Temporary fulfillment, Yeah. But it doesn't make you happy.
But in a way, money does make you even happier, if you spend it on other people.
Yes. Right? Honestly, that's what I like doing now.
Buying
lunch for a friend or donating to charity.
Yeah,
it's the base of money. Is the base of happiness. It's the whole thing where it's you can't. There's a lot of things money. It's not directly correlated to happy, but if you don't have money, there's a lot of stuff that can make you happy that you can't do.
Honestly, what's it called?
Right? It's the base.
you know how they say like money doesn't buy happiness? Or sorry, not that one. That's another saying I have.
That's the other one.
But it's better to give than to receive. When I was young, like I don't know, like when I was under like 14, 15, I thought it was bullshit, you know? Because like I didn't have anything.
That's true.
Well, I had everything, but I mean like my parents.
There's a lot more stuff.
A lot more stuff to get.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, it's better to give than to receive. Under 15, I didn't care about it, right? But the more I grow up, the more I mature, and like the more things I buy, I'm like, I'm honestly much happier buying stuff for my sister than for myself. Like if you ask me what I want for my birthday, I want nothing for my birthday.
Yeah, me too.
Right? Nothing you could give you is gonna make me like.
It's
happy,
like nothing you don't
know?
really want anymore.
Exactly.
It's like you have
you know?
pretty much.
If you
everything.
like buy me something super nice, I'd rather like the thought of you like giving it to me. You know, like wow, Quentin gave me a really nice present instead of the actual present itself.
Yeah.
You know, the thought like that's it. You know.
Yeah. Because there's not much you want anymore. It's like you're past that phase
That's
of like
what it is.
wanting everything. Right?
I don't want anything anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. Some people say it's weird when I say I don't want anything for Christmas for my birthday, but I honestly don't.
You don't know what you want. You don't like. There's nothing much you can
There's
get.
nothing
like,
really.
I
Yeah.
feel like
on the
the only
thought.
thing you would want is you want experience. Money can buy experience, right? So
It
let's
can.
say you want to do like, I don't know, skydiving. And
That's true.
money
That
for it.
yeah.
I feel like the best use of money is to help others, right? Obviously help yourself first, help others, and then use whatever money you have on experience.
On top of experience, I feel like the one thing money can really buy is time. You know?
Of course.
And like I asked Johnathan this, I think a couple weeks ago. Would you rather be a high paid employee? Like you're making 6 figures plus, but you're working
9 to 5.
10, 12 hours a day,
Right.
or you have a lot of time, but you're not making a
That
lot
much.
of money.
Like
time
it-
is time
you know?
is.
Yeah,
I think having time is
Having time is
probably better.
But I guess like it really depends. It really depends on what your overall end goal is.
That's
some
what it is,
people
yeah.
That's
like
true.
the way how other people see it, where they would basically spend a couple of years, maybe 4 to 5 years, to work at a really high end paying job, and to stack up all the money,
That's what I mean.
and then you quit, and then you maybe you spend that money on investment, and then transition into a different part of your life.
Exactly. Like
Position it.
Yeah.
Position
And
it.
I feel like a lot of people these days are on autopilot. You know, people are on autopilot because they don't really know what they're doing. They don't have a plan. Like people go to university, they take business management or like any other course.
It's always business. It's always business.
It's always
Yeah,
business,
literally,
and
yeah.
like they don't know what they're gonna do at the end. You know, people be majoring in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to point fingers or anything.
But I mean, they don't know what they're doing,
Yeah.
right? If you're taking a low end job and you have a lot of time, use the time to build something. You know, make it useful. Don't be like, don't be. You're already getting paid like very like a very low amount. You have the audacity to relax at home, bro.
No, but a lot of people are like that nowadays. Like
It's
the
just
problem,
autopilot, man.
the problem with like now, like in today's world, with like technology being so advanced, when you have so much time on your hands, you kind of get lost. Like there's nothing like you surf Instagram, you go on TikTok. Your day's
Honestly,
over
that's
like
it.
this.
See,
Yeah.
Right?
That's the thing with me, right? Before I would literally come home, watch TikTok for I don't know. I feel like I would be on TikTok for like 10 minutes. And
Bro,
then
it's
an
like
hour has passed.
Yeah.
Right. And then the next day, I'm like, I'll be at work. I'll tell my coworker, bro, I'm so tired. I slept for like 4 hours. Like, bro, I didn't do shit.
you on your phone for
why
2
did
hours.
why did I sleep so little?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gave up your sleep for like scrolling like a couple more videos on TikTok.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
For fulfillment. Like that's the problem. Like the fulfillment nowadays comes from
Dopamine.
scrolling on your
I think
Yeah, dopamine. Yeah,
Dopamine
yeah,
hit,
dopamine.
I feel like the only way to solve this is to regulate your diet, number one, and number two is regulate your dopamine level.
You
So I
gotta
guess
reset it.
Yeah.
You can reset it, yeah.
There's a what do they call it? There's like there's a video I watched. This is like Chinese guy. So he was talking about it. It's like when you go to the gym and stuff. It's something that's not dopamine. It's like when you
Oxytocin.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
It's like when you
being
work
used.
harder, or like when you're focused, when you're reading, when you're doing something like useful, like working, I don't know, working out. There's a different type of like dopamine that comes out.
Sure,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, and then you'll
Yeah.
like work, like for example, working out. Like when they damage your body, or like so, like say you go play basketball, right,
Yeah.
and you get very tired the next day, you'll start loving the feeling of getting tired.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
when you
that's-
go work out more, and like the muscles tear and then it like heals, like
Yeah.
you'll love that feeling. Or start
Yeah.
liking getting hurt, or like
Honestly,
liking the.
I don't know if this related, right? But I get that in like games. You know that, you know.
That's dopamine. That's dopamine.
Yeah.
Games
Yes,
is dopamine.
yeah.
See,
But
like,
we're talking
Anything you do is dopamine.
Yeah, but it's like
but I was, it was.
that's like
oxy-
I think is it
was
called oxytocin or some? Let me hold on.
oxytocin?
Let me. You
I
guys.
was
I
saying,
think I
like,
can
yeah.
find it.
Like when I'm playing
Oxytocin.
games, right? Let's say I lose a lot.
Yeah.
I'm hurt inside,
Yeah.
emotionally,
Uh-huh.
but I'm more fired up to play the next game.
Yeah, because people don't like losing, right?
Yeah.
People always wants to get the dub. So
That's what it is, though. But I mean, like, I don't know.
It's like a spiral effect. You can either like go downhill or you can go uphill, right? So if you lose one game,
Yeah.
some people will get demotivated, like, oh my god, like I lost like 3 games, whatever, right? And some people will be like, oh, I lost one game, they're like, you know what, I can come back to this, I can keep going, I can maybe like win another game, that kind of thing. It's always like a spiral effect. It really depends on your mindset, like how you're looking at the situation.
Mhm.
I guess it really tells you a lot more about who you are as a person.
What's it called? The one thing that one thing about you that really like stood out to me was when you told me you wanted to retire by 30.
Right.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
do you know how old he is?
Oh,
I'm 27 now.
3 years retirement.
Yeah.
He's 27. He looks like he's 21.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks very young.
Yeah.
But when Johnathan told me he wanted to retire by 30, I thought the guy was delusional. I can't lie.
Yeah.
And then, what's it called? We were talking about how in 20, like 30, like 6 years from now.
Yeah, so I was reading this thing, like, I'm not sure if you guys heard about the Great Reset, where they're basically talking about, like, they're trying to push this certain agenda into on the internet, be like, hey, you will basically own nothing and be happy. What that means is that they're trying to, you know how like right now there's Uber?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get a ride, just
Yeah,
use Uber.
yeah.
Everything's through subscription, like Spotify.
Yeah, yes,
Just
yes.
imagine subscription based, but with everything. So like, let's say you need electricity, everything is subscription. Be like, oh, every single month I'll be.
I
paying this
sent him a
amount.
TikTok the other day.
Oh.
It was this guy at a dealership in 2030.
Mhm.
He was buying a car, and then they were like, we have some add-ons for you. We have the brakes add-on, and then I think it was like the steering add-on.
Mhm.
So you gotta pay $20 a month to be able to use your brakes and your steering.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Talking about that. Okay, so the new BMWs,
Yeah.
the very new BMWs, right?
Yeah.
They actually have that feature. So
yeah, on the heated seats, right?
yes, there's heated
I
seats,
told you, right?
Yeah.
heated seats, and then the lights, like the lights inside. So normally now, like the older BMWs, like X4, X5, X6, X7, or no, sorry, X6, like these older models, when you buy like the higher class one, it comes with like the inside lights, right? But the very new BMWs, if you buy them, you have to pay like $5 or $10 every month just to use the
Like,
lights
how does
inside.
that make sense? I paid for the car, bro.
Yeah.
How are you not gonna give me the lights as well?
Yeah, like,
Right?
Yes.
And I feel like it gets worse. Sorry, it gets worse with like Teslas.
I don't know about that one.
It's an engine car, right?
Mhm.
Personally, I love Tesla,
Yeah.
right? Tesla, I would want to get a Tesla, but at the same time, imagine if the government can like charge you, like, hey, you can't turn this on, or
Yeah.
or there were a lot of crashes with Tesla where
Self-driver.
the brakes stopped working,
Oh.
and that's engine. Like, what if someone can on the outside can control it?
Yeah.
That's true.
You're gonna be like a bot. Like that's just how it is. Like you're just gonna control everything.
You're sitting duck in the car if you can't control anything. You're waiting to
Yeah.
get killed
Yeah.
if you're inside the car.
And like honestly, like hashtag free Andrew Tate. You know what I mean?
Yo.
The man did nothing wrong.
Yeah, free Top G.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know if what he did like was because he wasn't like convicted yet. Sorry, is convicted the right word?
I don't know. He was. Are you talking about like when
Like he was accused,
He got accused.
and basically,
of,
you know how like in most countries the law is that if you take someone in
Mhm.
and you don't have any evidence to back it up for like you can only hold that person
48 hours, I think.
in the holding cell for
That's
24 hours.
24,
48,
48, yeah.
right? They held him for 3 months.
Yeah.
With no solid evidence.
It was in Russia, right?
It was in what's it called?
Romania?
Rome.
Romania.
Yeah.
Romania.
I'm like, how is that possible? Right? It's the Matrix.
That's true. I think they keep farming they farm like excuses off because you know how like you can detain somebody for one thing, right? You accuse them for one thing, they just keep accusing.
No,
you
they,
can keep like
basically. I heard that they kept delaying the what's it called? There was like some papers
court
sent or something.
Yeah.
The court.
Yeah.
It was like a 3 month. The maximum you can go for is 3 months, I think, and they just kept farming off that like week by week or something. You know. Another thing I heard was that this would be crazy if it was actually true. Andrew Tate is paying the Romanian police to gain popularity. What if it was all an act that Andrew Tate was actually like he was paying them to cosplay as the Matrix?
Ooh.
And then he was
Just
getting arrested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
the Matrix is getting me.
That is a
He's
conspiracy.
literally paying the police.
That is
you
a
know,
conspiracy.
You know what he said before?
I can
He
never
was
get
like-
caught by the police. That one?
No. He always said, guys, I can literally pay the police, the Iranian police, any money. They don't give a fuck. I can pay them if I commit a crime. I can pay them. I'm a free man, and that's why he loves Romania because you can literally buy the police there, right? So what if he bought the police?
To do the act.
Exactly.
That's true.
He has so many pictures. Oh, I'm so tired of fighting against the Matrix.
Yeah, and like Twitter posting on Twitter and
You know
shit
what I
on
mean?
inside the cell.
Yeah.
That's what I heard as well. But like, there's so many.
That's a
theories.
conspiracy though. That is a little conspiracy theory. Off
I
that.
know, cause like you're buying the whole nation at that point.
Yeah.
You're buying the country.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, see, I don't know. Like the Great Reset, it was Andrew Tate, that dude Iman Ghazi.
Ghazi.
He likes the watches.
Oh wait, are you talking about the guy that on YouTube?
Yeah.
And TikTok.
I don't know. I haven't seen it on TikTok. I think that I know the YouTube guy.
Iman
that does
Ghazi.
watches.
He talks.
Talk about the making money guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The making money guy. It's like, oh yeah, guys,
He has
save
watches,
get
and then
watches.
he
It's like
streams with-
best investment or whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck.
He
right?
streams with Sneeko,
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
right? He was
Yeah.
talking about the Great Reset, and then you
Yeah.
told me like 6 years from now, what was it gonna be like?
You own nothing and be happy. That's
Own nothing and be happy.
That's like
the
the-
propaganda they're trying to push.
Own
It's gonna be cashless society, so everything they're gonna eliminate all like cash.
Because like first of all,
physical
no
money.
one. I don't even want to use cash, because it's so inconvenient.
That's true.
If I can just tap my phone and pay for it.
Well, like they swipe. That's the whole thing with they're starting that in China right now. It's like you eliminate all card, they swipe with face, so you pay with your face.
Crazy.
You buying your like essentially it's like you buying shit like with your like there's like the WeChat Pay or the Alipay.
Yes.
And then it's binded to
Yeah.
your face like your like essentially it's like Chinese driver license, right? And it's
Yeah.
binded to your face. And all you have to do is just you go pay, they scan your face, and then you get pay off that. It's like
Yeah.
fuck.
It's just so weird, you know.
That is
Yeah.
weird.
But see, let's say because like no one is fighting back, right? And I'm not trying to sound like a hero. Like I'm the only one fighting here. No, man, I'm part of them.
Yeah.
You know,
You can't-
I support the cashless society.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. At this point, like you can't really fight it, right? All you can do is run around to whichever place is more suitable for you, right?
Be more stable or gain power.
Power is
And you gain
the
power with
thing.
money.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the only thing.
A cashless society, they can like what's it called? You were talking about
So
was that you? The Canadian protesters.
Oh, okay. Oh,
The truck.
speaking of that, you know how back several months, was it several months ago or a
Months
year
ago, yeah,
months
yeah,
ago, where they had that like protest with the trucker thing.
They went
the
to the
convoy.
parliament.
Oh
The
yeah,
parliament,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So while all those truckers were protesting, right, the next day, Trudeau decided to shut down all their bank accounts. So they
Froze them.
froze all their bank accounts, so they can't even take out money.
Froze the protesters?
Yes.
Yeah, all their
what?
protesters.
I never heard about
Yeah.
that. I didn't hear
Like,
about that.
Well, they didn't really like. I guess it wasn't really a big thing because they didn't want to push it on the
Yeah,
news
yeah,
just because
yeah.
it was scared, like create like
But
scare
imagine the
everybody,
government
right?
just
So,
freezes your account like that.
yeah,
That's true. Well, you lose. There's so much like
that's
freedom
why-
or power.
That's
that-
why even though a cash society would be like so beneficial because it's so convenient for us,
yeah,
it gives the government so much power. If I made like $1 million, I put it in a bank, they can just freeze my assets. It's over for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
Everything I've done in my old life is over
yeah.
just in that time.
That's assuming if you go against the agenda they're trying to push, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But see, like, as I said, in this current age, there's no middle class. Like, the middle class is being pushed to be. If you're in middle class right now, you either become poor or rich.
Or rich, yeah.
Right? Because the rich people, they make the rules, and the poor people just accept it, and
They follow the rules.
They follow the rules. That's it. Right? They make money off each other.
But at the same time, you got to think of it this way though, where if everybody's like trying to escape the matrix, then the whole society is gonna collapse. So you need the working class.
Exactly.
You need the people in the matrix.
Exactly.
People
Like,
in the matrix.
people
right?
these days
So
are like, these days, like, what's so popular is hustle culture.
Mhm.
Like, what's your passive income job right now?
Oh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, bro, first of all, if everyone's hustling, it's not gonna
It's
work.
not hustling. Not everyone's it's not
Exactly.
considered a hustler anymore.
Exactly. And a lot of people are like, what's like a secret passive income job you can do in 2023? You can't just make passive income like that. People are like, I have vending machines, I have whatever. There's so much work to put into that. It's
At
not
the
really
beginning,
passive.
yeah.
It's not the norm. It's not supposed to be the norm.
Exactly. People try to find shortcuts. At
Yeah.
the same time, everyone's trying to be like this hustle guy, this red pill guy. Not everyone can be that,
Mm.
It's messing up the culture.
Yeah.
No one wants to work anymore. Everyone wants to get to the top, not by working, by progressing. They just want to get a shortcut, go straight up there with an elevator.
Yeah, it's like when everyone leaves the matrix, that means it forms a new matrix outside the matrix.
Exactly.
Like it's like a cycle, right?
Exactly.
It's just not this matrix anymore. It's the other one.
Yeah.
It's like
that's why like it's good to escape the matrix, but like not just know
you
that
can't
not,
have everyone escape.
not everybody's gonna escape the
That's
matrix.
what I mean. Only 1% can.
Yeah.
See it, like technically.
Yeah.
Right?
like a minimum. Like
Yeah.
there's
and like we were
everybody's
saying,
gonna
like
get
if you
it,
want to
so.
get past the Great Reset, right? You have to have a certain amount of money to command power.
Mm-hmm.
Like Andrew Tate, right? He has so much money that people are chasing after him. Like they're after, like the Matrix is against them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, see the Great Reset, right? Like, we look back in the pyramids. That was what? That was long. First of all, the Earth's been here for what? A million years, like billions of years, right?
Billions of years.
How are we only at year 2023?
That's true. What happened to all the?
How is
There's
it?
so many myths, like because you
It's
know
been
how
a billion
Yeah.
years, bro.
You
know
Why
how
are
there's
we
like-
only at year? How are we only at year 2023?
But like, there's no like, we don't know what's real, right? Has the Earth actually been a million years? A billion
Yeah,
years?
well, they have like scientists being
Sci-
Right,
Facts.
but then what?
Facts.
Like then
So-
then it goes like, are the
Imagine
scientists?
you
like,
go back to like, I don't know, year. Imagine you're living year 3.
Yeah, year
seven.
3. Year
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
Bro, dinosaurs weren't even there.
Yeah.
That's like
I know.
billions of years back then, you know?
Oh, 3 was only like
And, like,
2,000 years ago, which is not
yeah.
that far.
When were the what's it called? When were the pharaohs? What age was that?
Oh yeah.
That's not
like,
even part
like
of
BC.
That's
before-
BC. That's not even right now. That's not even our 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's before,
Uh-huh.
right? That's before our time. And look how well they made the pyramids.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
I mean, there's a myth where it's like the whole there's like the aliens and like the technology, the mind wipes and shit. Like
It was
that,
something
right?
it was telling me. It was about like
So-
the growing evolution of the reset.
So basically, for them to create the pyramids, I heard this other theory on Joe Rogan's podcast. Shout out to Joe Rogan.
Shout out to Joe Rogan.
Shout out to
Joe
Joe
Rogan.
Rogan right
So you're
there.
listening to this. So basically, what he was talking about, he was saying that like back then, since like there's not much like swords and shit or like knives, like really like advanced tool, right? So they had a theory that like they could possibly be using sound waves. So you know how like when you play music and stuff, let's say you play music right now, like with the bass is so strong, you can see literally see like the water is like
Oh, yeah,
moving and
yeah,
shit.
move, yeah.
So they're probably just imagine that, but like on steroids. They're probably gonna using like different sound waves to able to move the rocks from one place to another.
What the? So, I
Damn.
mean, that's like more advanced technology than we
The
have
thing
right
is-
now.
Exactly. So
It was like, what was it? What did you say before? It was like we got up to a point in humanity.
I was telling Aaron the other day, I feel like my theory is maybe back then the last civilization with the pyramids, whatever, they have gotten so advanced to a point where like they can't go anywhere further because their technology are so
They
advanced.
reset.
So they
And
wiped
it ba-
everything.
It's not even that. It's people. What's it called? The corruption was at an all time and everything.
Exactly.
Everything imploded.
Exactly. So, which is basically what happening to what's going on right now with AI. All the
So-
technology
it's like a
is being
cycle.
so-
It's like a-
exactly.
So they
here-
probably had AI back
Here we
then
go.
already.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They had AI before.
They had AI
When I was
before.
saying that you read the Bible. Have you read the Bible?
Yes, I've read the Bible.
The Bible, at the end of the book, the Revelation chapter,
yeah.
right? They're talking about the end of times, right? And the Bible is known to be very accurate in a lot of things.
Yeah. Predicting
And
the future and shit.
Exactly. And then they're talking about at the end, like in the end of times, people will like love this, like love money, all this kind of stuff, right? How would they know all of those signs?
If they haven't been through with them.
Exactly. Right? What if the Bible was written by somebody back in the day who's trying to tell us about the Great Reset? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also another thing in the Bible that says, I remember like just briefly, basically like the revelation like happens, like all destroying whatever entire earth happens when humans trying to become like gods.
We're getting too close.
We're
to
getting too close to the point where like we think we're gods, we can do whatever.
Every
we
time
want,
we
right?
hit that wall, we snap reset time.
Yeah.
Right? The Earth's been around for billions of years, but imagine we always have, like even now, we still have resources mining.
Yeah.
That's
There's
true. Like
and we only have
they
been
keep
around
on
for
saying
2,000
fossil
years.
fuels are disappearing.
What happens is that everyone dies, nature goes back on its own, they regrow, everything respawns,
Everything gets
reset. You know
and
what I
then
mean?
next civilization
the next
comes in.
Yeah, the next.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if you saw this quote or not a quote, but like the saying from Albert Einstein when he was still alive back then. He basically said like the World War III, if it were to happen, it's gonna be like a nuclear war, right? But when World
That
War
was it, exactly.
I told you I was talking that.
But-
I was talking to that. over there.
But when World War IV happened, World War IV, if it were to happen, we'll go back to people
Stone Age.
using
Yes.
sticks and stones.
Yes.
People
that makes
were
sense.
at nuclear war before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And then imagine this, right? Imagine me. I was part of the Great Reset, not before 2000s. I was the Great Reset
Like
before.
the BC 2000.
I was BC.
Like
I was a
2000.
BC man.
Yeah, you BC
You know,
mans.
you were AC mans.
Uh-huh.
Or is it AD? Sorry.
AD after death.
After death.
It's before Christ. This BC.
I'm
That's
BC.
before
I'm
Christ.
BC. You're AD.
AD.
Right? Let's say I survived through BC, and then I told you, you're my son, Quentin. Quentin, I'm gonna tell you about what's gonna happen to the Earth or what happened. Right? Us humans, we got too close to the sun. You know, we tried to become gods and everything. It didn't work out. Everyone. That's why we're back at chapter 1. You know, square one. I tell you all the stuff about the Great Reset, how we had AI, we had flying cars and everything. I tell you about this. Now I'm dead. You have your son. You tell your son this. Do you think your son will believe it, or do you think every time it's passed on,
It's not believed. I don't think they'll believe
you
it.
pass it on to
They
your
won't
son?
believe it,
Yeah.
He might believe it because
Yeah.
you know.
It's
But then,
direct.
but then your son tells his son.
That his grandfather told him.
Exactly.
It's not his dad because his
It's-
dad was told from his dad.
I told you. You told your son. Your son still believes you.
Yeah.
Because that's your son, and like your son knows me,
Yeah,
right? But then I'm dead. Your son tells his son.
it's a myth. Not
Right?
just
They'll be
a
like,
myth.
it's more of like a fate story or like
Yeah,
what's
it's like a
called?
story. Yeah,
It's like a lore, right? Now that makes sense that you won't believe each other. It would make it more believable that someone would write a book, and they wouldn't tell us directly what would happen, right? They would tell us someone's gonna come to judge you guys.
like cues, like
the
cues.
earth is gonna end like this. They didn't tell you exact details, but they told you what was gonna happen. You look at the book of Revelations, it has so many signs of what's gonna happen in the end of times,
Yeah.
right? It's so good, it's so accurate that it's kind of scary on how accurate it is.
It is.
Like
it is.
someone was there and they experienced it before,
Yeah.
No,
right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more believable if someone wrote it down
It is.
instead of telling like the exact story?
I think it's more like history tends to repeat itself.
That's it.
And there's also like because I was talking, I don't know if like it's sort of like a myth or I don't know, it was something I was talking to one of my uncle about it. So because he's sort of that too, right? He has like the sort of like what we were talking about right now. So I've been talking with him about it. Like before, he was saying like, you know how with all the multiverse and shit going on, right?
Yeah.
With all the multiverse, like they were talking about like how like you know how the people with the top power,
Yeah.
I think they might know signs of like of all this like of all this like wipe and shit, and they're trying to find a way to escape like the Great Reset. through like multiverse and like trying to like figure out like how there's like videos or like not videos but like movies they already made about it where it's like you can just store your memory, like where how people
consciousness
will forever live. That how people don't die anymore. Why? Because like how you can store, like your body can die, but if I have a memory inside like a disk or like a USB, if I have your memory, like Aaron's memory, he's dead, but I have your memory like of your entire life inside this USB and I plug it into somebody or like plug it into an AI, that means you lived again.
Basically,
right? You're never gonna die. Your body dies, but like, is it now? But
see, the thing is, I feel like us humans are not supposed to be this conscious. We're too aware of our environment. We grew out of. We're animals at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right. We're not anything special, right? Me, a monkey, an elephant. Inside, we're all just living things. You know, there's nothing special about us, right? People, humans especially, they got too smart, too conscious about life, and with that, like with them developing greed, that's the number one, you know.
Because they have too much.
That's that's the enemy of humanity, greed. Every single reset, it's
the seven sins.
We only reset because we get greedy. People try to become gods. You know,
trying to control the society or like control the world.
Everyone wants power, right? But I'm not blaming people specifically for that. Greed was built into humans, you know, and that's why we always reset. So Johnathan, like 2030 was telling me that's when the reset starts happening, and that's when the end of times becomes again.
You think we can live until the Great Reset happens?
The only time we can live is if we make enough money to have enough power. During the time of Great Reset. And I was telling him, I feel like every reset, like every Great Reset, there's always a couple people who try to end it. I was telling Johnathan, I feel like I was a reborn warrior. I was in the reset back then.
You were in the BC.
I was in the BC reset. I was trying to fight against the reset, and now I'm back to try and fight again. And I feel like in my life, I feel so exhausted. I feel like I've done so many things in my life. I feel like that's because I keep doing this shit over and over again. Like, just let me live. Let me go.
Wait, but like, okay, so but now this comes to like, what do you guys like? There's like now, what do you guys believe in when it comes to like living? Because I was talking about it where it's like, where I heard about like a video the other day. So if you're Chinese, if you're English, you can watch it too. But Mandarin, it's like it's a YouTube channel called 老高与小莫. All right, so they're Mr. Gao and something, but it's in Mandarin if you guys want to check it out later if you know Mandarin. But basically they were talking about like what do you believe when it comes to living? Like spirit is like, so you know how it's like what happens when you're dead? Like what do you believe in? Do you believe like God where it becomes like the spiritual where it's like,
the thing is I was born in a Christian family, right?
Right.
So if you die, it's basically like
a reborn.
No, it's basically like you're literally like you're sleeping. Not like with the way they talk about it, you don't become a ghost. You don't haunt people. You don't come back because you didn't finish your mission. You're just dead. You're just sleeping, right?
Yes.
And then you wake up once it's the judgment day. You know, when God comes down to earth and judges you,
whether or not you can live again,
whether or not you live in paradise.
Oh yeah.
Or
live in hell.
Exactly.
Okay, but the way they judge you, do you think it's based on a percentage? So let's say you did like 70%. Let's say 50% is the pass.
Yeah.
Do you think it's more like you did 70% of the goods and then 30% of the bad, and then they'll let you go to heaven? Or is it more like you hit the below?
Honestly, I don't think it's about that at all. I think it's more about, did you even try to believe in God? Did you even give it a chance? I feel like, let's say you lived your whole life working, trying to make your family happy, doing all this stuff, but you never got a chance to be introduced to God.
But is it actually their fault though?
It's not your fault. That's what I mean. Like, God's gonna give you a chance, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what it is. If you didn't get a chance, you will get a chance. If you got a chance and then you bummed it out, sorry for you. You know.
Now there's the other conspiracy theory is that we live in like, you know how there's 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, like 2D,
different
3D,
dimensions.
Different dimensions.
Yeah.
Now we live in a dimension that's controlled by a different dimension, like a higher dimension. So there's movies.
What does that
about,
mean?
There's movies about it where it's like different dimensions. So essentially, you know how, so I pull up anime. That's 2D, right? Like a movie, or like say anime, like a cartoon we draw. So what if like we're like the anime people, or like we're 2D?
We're an anime.
So like we're 2D
yeah.
compared to like, so someone like in a higher dimension, it's like a game. We're in like a game. Like we're like characters they made. That's the other conspiracy theory.
So I think it's
about
more like 2D. It's like whatever you see, cartoon, whatever.
Yeah.
3D is sort of current reality.
But is it the current reality?
The 4D is more like the fourth dimension. I think it's like space or like time.
Yeah.
Of like you can travel with time, whatever.
And then
is that 4D?
Yeah, 4D.
Yeah, fourth dimension. And then the fifth dimension, I think it's like something has to do with.
Like imagine, because you know how 4D is time and the 3D is the current reality, right?
Yeah.
So the 5D or maybe like 5D, 60, 70 people just control the 4D dimension, 3D. They just like pull out, like they pull like, you know those. You know how when we skip videos, you got the what's that thing
The
called?
buffer bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bar, right? It's like imagine like they're just pulling the bar. They're like, "Rrr." And that's like this is the dimension, right? We're
But
living
at
in.
the same time, I don't think it's possible just because like we're currently living in the present and there's past and there's future. There's nothing really beyond that. So I don't think it really matters as much as we think.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah, that's true as well. But
Yeah.
like there's so many like theories about like how like we've came to, because like the whole thing where it's like I don't know if I talked about it with you last time or maybe it was someone else, but where it's like you know how things are getting more boring nowadays and with the AI and shit like that. So the reason why they created like the multiverse, or like maybe like we're in the multiverse and we're characters that we are playing like outside of this dimension.
Yeah.
Right? Because we got so bored in our like real world that this is like a game we created to get back. So it's like a challenge. It's like, oh, I can start with Elon Musk, or I can start off.
I don't
with...
think you told.
Was it not you? It wasn't you, right? Or...
No. I think I talked to you about this or something.
Yeah, we talked. I swear we talked about it when we talked about the war.
You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me about it like that.
Yeah, I said it in a
Basically,
different way.
I was talking about what if we were like so bored back in our old world?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In our old world, it was so advanced.
It was so yeah.
We were literally in like a full body VR.
Yeah.
And
Right
this
now,
is not a real
this is our
world.
VR, and you get to pick. Like for example, it's like you know how those games where it's
Have
like
you watched Sword Art Online?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like season. You haven't caught up to season 3.
Or is this new?
It's a new season.
It just came out recently.
Alice is still
Alicization.
Alicization.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
Basically, you know Kirito,
Yeah,
the main character.
Yeah.
In season 2, something happened to him,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and like you had to be put in this VR.
GGO,
In this
right?
VR, no, Alice.
Oh, Alice. Yeah.
In this VR, Kirito spawns in as he becomes a toddler and he becomes a kid. The
Oh.
craziest part is he was born in VR,
Mm-hmm.
so his past memories as Kirito doesn't exist anymore. He thinks that it's a new world.
Yeah,
and
it's
he's a kid.
him. He is right.
Oh,
That's what I was.
I
That's
see.
why the theory was like. That's why my like one of the other theories was like
His
this.
Kirito memories were blocked.
Yeah. So like this is like right now the one we're living in. Right now is the VR like what we're doing. Like we're sleeping outside on the other real
Yeah.
world or dimension.
Oh,
And this is like
makes
a
sense,
world.
makes sense.
It's like this is the multiverse they created for like our brains to go in because we were so bored in the past. Like we
Yeah.
want to relive.
That would be kind of funny, to be honest.
I know, like we want to relive, like, and then you can pick. It's like stages. Like, do you want a hard life, easy life? Do you want to challenge yourself? Difficult.
Well,
Like, there's difficulty levels. It's like extremely hard. Then you start in poverty, or like you live in like a war zone,
I
right?
guess, yeah.
Or like extremely easy. Then you start in like a wealthy family or stuff like
Oh,
that. You know?
that remind me of this thing I was reading. I was watching this video. I forgot what it was. Basically, you know how like we're living in a current world, right?
Yes.
So let's say we can see things, we can touch things, like we have conscience and everything. When we're asleep, you know how like we have dreams and stuff. Do you think whatever that we're dreaming about is a different version, or like
Our real
conscious,
world,
or
or, yeah.
real world, or like conscious, or
Yes.
to a different body?
You know why I think that's like might be true? When you dream and you wake up, you forget everything about it.
That's true.
Exactly.
It's like it gets blocked off.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
it's there.
And no, and you like, and it's like you remembered you had a dream.
Yeah.
You know you had a dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just don't know what happened
So,
there.
like,
Yeah.
when I wake up for the first 5 minutes, I would remember my dream. Already like, it just happened.
Mhm.
I was like, it's already very faded, very
Yeah.
cloudy.
Yeah.
Like,
And then 6 minutes later, it's
after-
like,
after like 2 more minutes, it's gone completely. I'm like, yo, it's like somebody's blocking it off.
No matter how hard you
Yeah.
try to think.
No matter how hard you think, I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
And there was the whole
That's
thing where it's like
crazy.
sometimes you wake up in the middle of your sleep and you go like you have a dream, right? And you go back to sleep, you can continue that
Yeah,
dream,
you can
right?
continue, yeah.
It's like what the fuck? But you know you continue that dream, but when you wake up, it's like when you wake up suddenly it's all gone.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
even though you woke up in such a short time, like in that little, so you wake up for like 5
Like,
minutes
right
to
now?
take pee.
I remember all of my dreams, but not vividly. Like I know what happened to them, but I don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's faded.
Yeah.
It's like a
It's
mist.
there.
Yeah.
You know
But
it's
I-
there.
But I can't remember. For some reason I can't remember it.
Yeah, so you don't know what like what's real or like
Yeah.
what's like virtual like real. That's the cool thing about multiverse and shit. Where it's like so. Oh yeah, talking about the multiverse. Okay, it's Pride Month by the way. If you guys it's June. You know how for Pride Month right now it's like it's not always about like the gay and stuff like that, right? Now it's like identifying who you are.
It's
Like what type
Filipino
of
Heritage Month, bro.
Yeah, no, I know, but like identifying like right now nowadays like the LGBTQ movement is a whole thing where it's like who you identify as. It's no longer it's like if you think you are a girl, then you are a girl.
That one is like
You know that movement, right?
yes.
So like there's the I don't remember what it's called, but like you know how there's like, oh yeah, if I think I'm a you know how there's like posters about like people being like cats and shit like that?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the whole movement is like, oh yeah, if I self-identify as something, then like I am that, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So right, so like that's I think that also chains in with like multiverse and stuff of like building your own character,
Cool.
right?
Makes
When you
sense,
play
makes sense.
when you play a video game, you can be whatever the fuck you want. That's
That's
multiverse.
Oh,
That's
Why can't
multiverse.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, you
When
can.
you're a guy.
Yeah, like my PUBG character's a girl. I'm not a fucking girl in real life, but I can create something, right? That I think that's why, right? Like it kind of
Yeah.
chains in with multiverse if you think about it. Now it's like the whole multiverse is like you can be free. You can freely express your feelings.
The only thing I would have against that
Mhm.
would be like a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure this is like first of all, people tell me things I don't double check.
Oh yeah, I don't either. I don't
Yeah.
either.
Someone told me.
Don't fact check.
A lot of people who like transition
Mm-hmm.
and like who identify as another like
The gender, yeah.
opposite gender,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they have like a 60% chance of regretting it.
Yeah, that's what I heard about it too. Yeah.
It's very common for it's like 80%, 60%
Mm-hmm.
of people who transition they regret it, and a lot of them like are very suicidal.
That they can't come back.
They can't get back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And what's happening now is they're forcing it on the kids,
Mm.
and that's the worst part.
Mm.
Because you know how like as humans, after the Great Reset, we really developed back into this
I
state
like-
of mind where we know that kids,
Yeah.
their mind is not matured, it's not developed, right? So if the kid, their mind is not developed, why are we giving them an option to stray them off? You
Mhm.
know?
I think it's more like a distraction, so to speak. Like
What do you mean?
the whole Pride Month thing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it's more
yeah.
a distraction just so that people are being occupied with shit.
Yes.
So they don't have time to focus on what's actually happening.
What's legit,
what's
like, what's
actually
real,
what's
right?
real, right? Because everybody's too focused on Pride Month, this and that, whatever, right? There's always like new
Focus
random
how,
The
though?
movements, like the new
those random
movements
shit.
that
Like,
comes out.
Like,
The
when
whole
did
thing-
when did Pride Month even like come about? Like it just
It's the
it
whole
just-
suddenly came out.
it
It's just like the Me Too. It's like the Me
it
Too
just
thing.
It
Suddenly,
was a new update.
it's a new update.
Yeah, it's a new
whatever.
update. Yeah, new update in
So
life.
obviously, while everybody's so busy, focusing on like all these type of shit, nobody's actually paying attention to the agenda, what they're trying to push.
Yeah,
They're
the
just, like,
schedule.
whatever the reset, whatever that's happening. Like,
Yeah,
They
wanna
want us
they
to
wanna-
trap in
There's
the
so many
matrix.
distractions.
Yeah, it's like
bro.
update. They post new updates. It's like
Yeah.
it's like new updates in
It's
games,
constantly,
right?
like,
Makes so
new
much
updates,
sense.
yeah.
All right.
So you don't have time because like for you to escape the matrix or just be a free thinker,
Yeah.
you have to like really like sit down with no distractions and
And
like
focus
have,
on
like,
the agenda.
random like thoughts coming to your head,
Mhm.
'Cause
and then
like,
you
in
basically
this world,
formulate.
There's so many things that like come up randomly.
Yeah. It's like same thing. Ukraine war. It's like
Yeah.
where the like, I know it's like started building up, right? But that was like starting from like you know how the new elections, like all this shit coming, the Syrian war that's like happened, the wildfire that just happened,
Yeah. Yo, where was that wildfire from?
Alberta, right?
Alberta. Yo, speaking of Ukraine
Alberta.
war, have you guys heard of? Did you guys see that Black Rock video?
No.
So you know how BlackRock is like a really big company, right?
Uh-huh.
They own it.
They own everything. They own
bro.
everything. Percentage of everything. Fuck,
Bro,
bro.
this might be the Matrix.
A percentage of everything.
A percentage of everything. Oh wait.
They're valued at like trillion.
Like
the
330 trillion or something.
Oh,
something
so they're like
ridiculous.
they're sort of like the backhand of everything. You know how
Backhand
there's like
everything controls everything.
you know there's okay so well I forgot what so there's like a sort of like a there's like you know how like Elon Musk is sort of right now like what we know who's the biggest like the richest man in the world, right? Elon Musk is what we know, but like there's a lot of people that's richer than him that we don't know.
Exactly. They have so much money they can cover up.
Yeah, yes.
They can literally buy the company and say, hey.
Yeah.
Don't
I
show
forgot
us.
it was that
But
video.
they
I
don't
already had it on my phone. Fuck. It was okay. So long story short, it was basically this guy. Maybe I can.
You can play a little clip of it if you have seen
I
it.
couldn't find a video. I forgot what it was called. Like.
Oh no, you can like if you
So-
can send it once you get on your phone. You can send it to Aaron. Aaron can play a little.
So long story short, basically, this BlackRock guy, he works there currently or whatever.
Mhm.
He had an interview. Well, he went on
Wait,
Tinder
sorry,
date.
how recent was this?
Literally a couple days ago.
Oh
5 days
shit!
ago.
Okay.
He went on a Tinder date with this girl, right? So then this girl was basically having a basic conversation like, "Hey, how's it going? Whatever, where do you work? Whatever." And the guy just like start exposing about like how they operate. They're like BlackRock's how they operate. And then the girl like obviously was on a date, whatever. So the girl was secretly like recording him as he was saying whatever stuff, how their system works and everything. So long story short, the guy basically explained how like they make money like Ukraine war, like the war is happening with Ukraine and Russia, is such a profitable business because war.
Remember what I told you?
Because war, for a war to happen, you need like a lot of money to have war, right?
It's a business.
It's a business.
Weapon costs a lot of money to make, right? So Ukraine is really poor, right? They don't really have money. Where the fuck did they get the weapons from? Like, so the entire world, the strongest military power right now is the U.S.
U.S. and Russia, right?
It's mainly just the U.S.
just US, yeah.
Just because globally, like the whole economy is run under U.S. Right?
Exactly.
So U.S. holds the biggest military power. So Ukraine needs money, right, to have this war just to protect themselves, right? They need weapons. U.S. is gonna send them the weapons.
Yes.
To fight the war, but obviously, since they don't have money, so they're gonna take on debt. So the entire Ukraine is gonna be forever slave to the U.S.
Oh, that's how they. That's
right?
how U.S.
That's how they
slaves.
fund the war and shit, right? And with Russia, since like they're trying to fight it off like Ukraine, whatever, right? But since U.S. has a stronger military power or weapons, they're not able to defeat Ukraine with just their shitty weapons, right? So what are they gonna do? They're gonna ask U.S. for their military power.
Who is?
Oh, like Russia.
Russia.
Even though Ukraine is backed up by U.S., Russia's gonna also ask U.S. to fight Ukraine.
So Russia, so obviously Ukraine has like more better weapons, just because they got it from the States, right?
Yes.
So Russia be like, oh, what the fuck, like, your guys' weapons are so much more OP than us. We're gonna ask U.S. to get weapons to us so we can fight it off. So it's like an even battlefield, right? So U.S. is basically getting profit from both sides.
U.S. is the
of the
blacksmith.
story.
U.S. is the blacksmith.
Yeah. He's the one that's supplying all the weapons. So since weapons are so profitable, so I guess BlackRock
Which
doesn't.
company's BlackRock? Is that a U.S. company?
I think so, yeah. So they don't want the conflict to end just because like you need more weapons.
It's war money.
War
That's what I was
money,
telling you,
exactly.
like-
War money.
I was telling him about.
Have you guys seen that movie War Dogs?
No.
You guys should watch it. It's basically like
Who's
very.
it
It's a movie very similar to like Wolf of Wall Street, but it's,
Oh,
instead of like
War Dogs.
yeah, instead of like doing like ring banking frauds or whatever, like Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
they do it through war. So you know how like Afghanistan and US
Yeah,
they
yes,
have, like,
yes,
a war?
yes.
So they're essentially like the middleman.
Oh,
so
shit.
they buy all their military supply off of like a private like firm, whatever. But then the U.S. military can't, so that the U.S. military can't get a hold of the private firm for those like weapons, right? They have to buy it from the middleman instead.
It's
Just imagine PS5, like you know how PS5 when it first came out,
Yeah.
everybody's like scooping it and then they're trying to resell it for a higher profit, right?
Yeah,
For a higher
everyone's
price.
reselling
That's the middleman.
Just
yeah.
imagine that, but with war. with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
With the U.S.
Buy,
and
manufacture, and we sell
manufacture and resell at
retail, right?
Yeah.
Is it an old movie or is it like a brand newer?
No, it's an older movie. Yeah.
Older movie? Okay.
I think it's after 2010. I think it's after.
It's like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah. I think it was after.
How did you say the war was gonna start?
Yeah, so I was talking to him about it, about World War III, all right? So this was like, because I said something about like, how like, what's it called? How it's, like how World War III was gonna be like actually profitable if you actually research about it. Like if you invest, yes. So I know it's like I don't want World War III to happen. I want to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not like a war fan, but from a business perspective, war is actually legit if you're like a good, say, investor or whatever. But like as like a person, like a businessman, war is the best way to make money because that's where large money comes in. Right? Because imagine like once war happens, house prices will drop. Let's be real. There's not going to be, right?
Guys, I found a video.
Okay, perfect. You wanna,
so
this
there's the guy. Oh, what the? Was it? Oh shit. Maybe it was just like it was this guy. It was.
Oh, this guy's the Black Rock guy.
That was the guy who was the recruiter. Search.
Yeah, search him up, James.
What's his name? Search.
Was it a short clip?
Yeah, it's pretty short, like 3 minutes. What's his name? Search for labor. What the fuck?
You already got taken down.
Oh my god.
That's how good he
Unless
is.
it got taken down right away.
Search it up on Google.
Yeah, search on Google.
Or on Reddit.
Oh, is this one?
Do you have any thoughts on
He's on
the
a date.
Ukraine-Russia
The
war?
guy's
Ukraine is good for business. You know,
There's a guy working
we
for
don't want the
Black.
conflict to end.
Why?
We don't want the conflict to end as a country. The longer this goes on, the weaker Russia is. I'll give an example. Russia blows up Ukraine's grain silos. Price of wheat's gonna go mad up. So what are you gonna do if you're a trading firm? The moment that news hits, within a millisecond, you're gonna pump
I told you about
trades
this.
into whoever the wheat suppliers are, into their stocks. Within an hour or two, that stock goes up, and then you sell, and you just made, I don't know, however many mil.
Why would a news channel promote a side in war?
Because it's also good for business too. I mean, what's news? Ukrainian economy is tied very largely to the wheat market, global wheat market.
Do you have any
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So everything kind of ties into making money. Because like when you think about it, there's no reason for a war to be going on for this long. If they really care for each other.
Oh, still recording.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Right?
Because, I mean, that's what I was telling you about. Like, exactly what he said, I told him this about before that came out.
Yeah.
I was talking to him about, like, this. When was it? When we ate Ajin's and ramen a while back. So that was, like,
Something got unplugged.
oh, shit. Was it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, perfect. So I was talking to him about this when we were eating. So it was like week 9 or week 8. So it was like a month ago. I was telling him about like how war makes you the most money because of that. It's like, say, house market crashes,
Exactly,
and then you buy houses you buy low, sell high, and stuff like that, right? Like, as from a business perspective, you don't want, like, World War III, if that happens, the Ukraine war, the Afghanistan war that happened back then, Syrian war, all these wars are like where you make the most amount of war money is like the most profitable business.
Yeah.
Right? Which basically he said in that video, right?
Yeah.
So because it's not simple, but it's sort of like there's always a chance. There's not, because normal opportunities don't give you war gives you so many more opportunities than you would normally not be exposed with. But I don't want a war to happen.
The Russia versus Ukraine parlays.
Yeah, like the parlays, it's like, yo, like this guy's gonna hit this, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
And like I know it's not related to like war, but why can't we just live in peace?
yeah, he said that last time too, but
Living is already like
Living is already hard.
Because you need war war back then, you need war to basically
live.
Basically to perceive like you're more powerful.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
That's
You're able to take control of land.
So
you become-
against power, man. As a person, I just want to live in peace. I want to be happy. Why are we?
But that's gonna be
fighting each other?
communist thinking.
Yeah, I wanted to
We
say
all live everything in peace. It's more like, yeah, it's gonna be like there's no like advancement. You know,
You
If
need-
everybody thinks like that.
I
There's
know.
not gonna be any
so.
advancement.
I mean, that's why I don't know if it's racist or anything. Yo, disclaimers, please don't.
Hold on.
Yo, don't cancel me or
It's okay,
anything.
it's
But
okay.
I was saying like how for the economy, for the world not to like go too crazy, the whites gotta be at top,
Mhm.
right?
Hold on.
Is that racist? That's not racist, right? Oh, we're like I'm saying like sort of like U.S. has to be at the top. Sorry, not white people. Sorry, but U.S. has to be at the top, or like some like countries like this has to be at the top. You can't have
I get it.
you can't have
Yeah.
like China or Russia or like countries like these trying to overthrow. Like, so I told them last time, but like you split the world into 3 divisions, right? You got number 1,
And
the
A?
big daddy, which is
Oh.
U.S., right? And you got the second guy, which is second and third guy, which is Russia and China, right? When we're talking about like military power and like
Yeah.
people, population, and stuff like that. So we have
U.S. China.
we have U.S. and all like so we talk about it in a tribe, right? We got the U.S. as the tribe leader, and we got all the tribe troops supporting U.S. But we got number 2 and number 3, second in hand and third in lead, second in lead, trying to overthrow the tribe leader, and they're trying to become the tribe leader.
So it's
So it's U.S. with the world against China and Russia, or like against number 2 and number 3. That's the world right now, right?
But at the same time, when you think about it, I don't think China or Russia will be the world leader, just because China, when you think about it, China, they kind of do their own thing.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Same thing with Russia, they kind of do their own thing.
But like from the perspective right now of like what they're doing and shit like that, if World War III ever happens, it's gonna be like that, right? It's gonna be like
Yeah.
U.S. and like pretty much the world against China, Russia, and like those people, right? That's sort of like the
How
World
do you
War
guys feel about the
World War III sort of.
the social credit system? What's it called? The
What social-
CCP, their credit system.
Oh, the CCV,
What's it called?
the CCP, I think, or something.
Their social the social credits, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's good in a way. Honestly, like it only affects to like
A certain extent.
a certain extent to it. Like if you're really rich, like fucking Genshi, you're not gonna fucking care, right? Even though there's social
Yes.
credit system. Like I feel like if you're really rich, you get to a point where like it doesn't like most of the stuff like that's going on in the world doesn't really apply to you. Just because you're gonna be like like if I need something to get done, like I'll just pay money. You know what I mean?
It would be so cool. I mean, like just you scan my face and like I literally see everything. You see how much money's in my bank and everything.
Yeah, well, that is sick though.
It's
But you
kinda
give
funny.
the government so much information.
The thing
That
is,
you don't want
I wouldn't
to
mind
give.
giving a government that much information as long as like it's a good government.
Oh no,
Yeah.
there's no good
You
government.
know what I mean?
right now.
Like China's I think like I've been like brainwashed by Chinese like TikToks. They've been dude. There's so many tourism videos. I love the landscape of China.
Oh, China's shit.
It looks so good.
It's a shit country. It's a shit country.
There's a
I'm from China, by the way. So I'm not racist. I'm from that country, born and raised.
but I don't know. There's so many like the structures are really nice. The buildings are there's this building. It was they were at the 28th floor of a building, and it was a new city there.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then like cities on top of each other.
That's Hong Kong.
And then
right
there's
now.
so many advanced cities, like like cyberpunk. You know
Yeah,
cyberpunk?
cyberpunk. Yeah.
Cyberpunk type cities.
Beijing, Shanghai,
So
Shanghai, all
nice.
these.
No, not those different ones.
Oh,
I forgot that they
you're
were
talking about like more advanced,
more advanced in China. There's
like those
more
mini technology. Yeah, I
big
know.
ones. They're like full of light.
Cities. Yeah, those mini cities.
Crazy, right? And like China's so advanced. It's such a nice country, but I feel like the government is like messed up. You know.
Like too many rows and stuff.
Exactly. I feel like if they had that much technology, and then like, it's a perfect place to live in. I just wish that the people at the top are like respected, or, like,
But
trusted.
right now, the people at the top in China, right? So the guy in command is Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping,
right now,
yes.
Xi Jinping right now. So what happens is the last guy that was not part of Xi Jinping's, like sort of his like I don't know how do you say it?
His
but, like,
gang?
His gang, yeah. So right now, like I think it was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, the last guy that was not in Xi Jinping's gang was out. He retired or something like that. I don't know what happened to him. But right now, everybody in the top is all Xi Jinping. All Xi Jinping. So there's no other like objections. So you know how in like say U.S. Canadian government, there's like we got the right wing, the left wings, we got the Democrats, we got the liberals. So you know when something's presented or like a law is regulated, you have to go past like everybody like in the House of Commons or like, Senate,
That's the
right?
thing, yeah.
To pass. China, bro. My boy Xi Jinping says something.
Yeah,
It
it's
passes.
like silencing on one side of the argument.
Yeah, there's over like whatever they say is right.
The thing is,
just
I feel
because.
like people underestimate, the power of unity,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
Like, if let's say you're the leader, and then you're the god here basically.
Mhm.
If me and Quentin plot against you, like it's over for you. You know
It
what
is
I mean?
over.
Yeah.
I feel like people they don't believe in unity,
Mhm.
and people are too scared, too afraid to speak out.
Yes.
You know, and I get that there's risk.
Exactly.
Maybe your family's being held hostage.
So
Yeah.
it brings back to what you were talking about earlier about the Pride Month. Everybody can be whoever they want.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's
The
no
multiverse.
unity.
Exactly.
Everybody's like spread out. So it's easier to control us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everybody's like spread out.
The multiverse, like you want to be who you want to be, but like as I said, like in a game, it's easier to control characters in game than to control a person like that's because in the multiverse you're limited to like you're free, but you're not really free because you're trapped in like a place, right? So
So
I guess that's
like I did some thinking the other day, just random thoughts. Like when you think about it, everything we've been taught, like just everything, they're all the rules that been taught are all like man-made. They're all like made up.
all
So you
conspiracy theories.
So you can always just like break it, kind of thing. Like the only like rules that you can't break is like the law of gravity. So if you jump off the fucking cliff,
You're dead.
you're dead. You're gonna be fall to the
But what if
ground.
there's something to that?
Huh?
What if there's something to that?
Something to that? To law of gravity?
Well,
Reverse gravity.
I'm just saying. Like I feel like, since like the Matrix have been so caught up to us, we're living like inside a box. Like there's so many rules,
Mhm.
we're not able to like break out of that box. Like think outside a box.
It's like seals. They
or
seal
think
you.
like there's no box.
They seal you up. They're
Yeah.
like, we have seals. You watch Naruto, they have like
Jinjuriki.
the nine tails, yeah.
Yes.
The nine tail seal, they have
Yeah,
that on them.
exactly.
The way that everything has been set up, there's guidelines for everything.
Exactly.
And the
Who
way
made
that
those
guidelines are set up, like how like when you have an idea,
Mhm.
and like let's say you think about an idea, that's not like it's outside of the box.
That's against the norm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Against the norm.
Like, people are so used to the norm that they can't think outside of the norm.
Yeah.
So when something gets presented that's outside the norm, you're considered the
Typical
outcast.
the
Definitely.
outcast,
Yeah.
exactly. So then, and because you're looked as the outcast, you personally can't handle that, even though you know, or you think, or you know that's actually right,
Yeah.
or whatever you thought is right,
Mm.
but you're against the norm. Right?
Also another thing I would say is like how 2,000 years ago everybody's like cavemen. They can kind of like do whatever they want. They can go and hunt or
Yes,
whatever,
yes.
whatever. But now, that was considered a norm back then. You do whatever you want, right? But now the norm is work from Monday to Friday,
9 to
clock in
5.
9 to 5. You sit in the fucking office, and you don't talk to anybody and you do your work. How is that even normal? Like when you just really like think
Yeah,
about
when
it,
you think it's
when you
normal.
really think about it, that shit is not normal.
Yeah. But that's the only way you can be fit with society, because it's the way you can get stable
Yeah,
money,
so that's what I'm
stable
s-
income.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
that's what I'm trying to say. With all the rules, they're trying to bind us. Into,
There's
like,
this what's
thinking
called
that
this
this
is
is normal.
anime, World's End Harem.
I've
you guys heard
I
of
feel I've watched it before.
I'm not talking about the basically. I'll tell you the plot, right?
Oh.
Basically, it was 2050, I believe. There was a virus that kills all of the males. There's some males like stored in the lab.
Oh, Romy Terror. Okay, yeah, I watched that.
Basically, in 2050, only a couple hundred,
Yes,
or I think it's thousands, males are alive, and there's like millions, billions of women.
Girls, yeah.
So they have to reproduce. It's like a hentai anime, but like that's not the point. Basically, in 2050 in this world, technology is like so far up at this point that no one has to work. Everything is free because everything's automated.
Mhm.
Like if you want to buy something, you don't have to buy it.
Like it's free comes out.
Exactly. You do what you want with your life.
You request.
Exactly. And I feel like that's what should happen. Like we should strive for a world where anybody can do whatever they want, where we don't have to be stuck in 9 to 5.
But that's when we go back to the Great Reset, where there's always going to be outcasts in that society where they want more.
That's
Right? They're
what I
like
mean.
they want to control.
That's why I'm saying we're never united.
Yeah, they want to be at the top. You want to always like, for the
There's
nowadays.
always guys that are like want to be at the top.
For
of
present
their own
today's societies, like the norm, like we're not the norm, but like you always have to have guys. Right now, the norm is you have to have guys at the top controlling people on the
Well,
bottom.
you need like a
to
referee
regulate
kind of thing.
the regulation, right? The
Regulation,
regulators. But like, because if you have nobody, so say like there's no law,
Yeah.
like
Of course. But the only problems I have with it is that we're giving them too much power. That's the only problem I have.
That's
Too
true,
much
that's
power.
true.
With the whole COVID, like who would have thought like 5 years ago of a
Bro,
virus
see,
hit
that
and then
COVID
everybody
shit
gets
is-
locked down for like 2 years?
Bro, that's another like
oh,
update that
folks,
just
it's
spawned
4
in.
years now, right? The COVID, 4 fucking years,
That
5
just
years.
spawned in like
Yeah.
nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Like everyone-
Suddenly happened.
They push it way too far. Like
Pandemic instantly, like
until you locked out. Oh, you can't go out. You
World
go out, like,
pandemic.
The thing is, you gotta think about it like this, right? So we know that COVID was like some random update that came out. You know,
yeah, it's an update.
you look at the news, right? Let's pretend that the Matrix is real. There's people at the top who control everything, right?
Yes.
Why would the Matrix allow these people to say like, hey, it might be a human virus? You know, that's something they just fed them. They throw them clues, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta think. Why would they want you to know that it might be a human virus? They already planned this shit out. You know, as humans, if there's people at the top, if the Matrix is up top, they literally feed information. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
But like talking about the virus, have you guys heard about like the zombie virus, right?
what's the
Yeah, I heard.
You heard about it,
I
right?
heard
was
about
it
it, yeah.
like for animals?
No,
It's
no,
like
no.
fungus.
It's
like,
yeah, or something you eat and then you just become like
You know that
become like a zombie or something.
that video game
Left 4 Dead.
no, not Left 4 Dead.
Red Dead.
Last of Us.
Oh, Last of Us. Yes.
Have you seen the show Last of Us?
No, I haven't.
Or even the video game?
I haven't played the game. No.
But
I've
you
never
can show you can show him an image. Of
I
Last of
never
Us.
played the game, dude.
I've my friend has the game, but yeah. So it's like
Oh, it's even a show now, so you can even
Oh,
watch
shit.
it.
so it's like a zombie game where it's like where a person like tries to like,
So it's pretty realistic though. So basically, what happened was like everybody's living their normal lives, whatever. But then how the virus came about is because there was a fungus, there was like a mold on one of the ground, whatever, or some grass or some shit. And then nobody thought about it was anything. It was like, oh fuck it, whatever, we'll clean it up, right?
There's a mold,
And it
yeah.
so happened like that mold got like really bad, and then it started spreading in the air, and then
Infected.
the air infected into the food supplies, and then the food supplies get spread across the world, right? And then everybody started eating those fruits, like regular fruit, like water,
and there's like
bananas,
viruses. In
and there was viruses, and nobody knew about it. And all of a sudden, like people started getting weird like viruses, like effects, and they start feel like it's not normal. You know what I mean? They don't.
You know those guys on crack cocaine? That they're like oh like very dark. It's like
Yeah.
they're like that all the time. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like they start like don't feel well, like stomach ache, diarrhea, and they just kind of like die or whatever, passed out, died, and then reincarnated into a zombie, and they try to like.
It's you know. Do you guys know about the Simpson theory? You guys know the Simpsons.
Yes,
right?
like how
Yeah,
they
you know
how
how,
predict
how they
everything.
predict everything, right?
How is
next-
it possible?
It's but the problem is it's real though, right? You know how like they in the Simpson theory, it's like oh yeah, the Trump got on the election.
Yeah.
The thing is, people say that they made so many episodes
That it doesn't matter.
that like
It
someone
probably
have to
comes something happens.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But like to think about that.
How would Donald Trump, a guy who owns the Trump Tower, become the president? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's so, bro, the guy's a fucking real estate maniac.
Yeah.
How would he no experience in like
And then the elevator.
And the
part.
Simpsons predict
Exactly,
in the 9/11. You know
elevator.
the 9/11?
you know
Too.
like, Donald Trump was so real
Yeah.
as a president.
Mhm.
I felt like he was like the only president that didn't get controlled by the Matrix.
Yeah.
Because you know Joe Biden,
Yes.
Barack Obama, they were all part of the parliament, whatever,
Yes, the
whatever
White
they call
House,
them,
yes.
senators, office,
Senators,
whatever.
yes.
They had to work for it,
Mhm.
so they knew about the Matrix, right?
He's not the businessman.
Donald Trump, businessman, Chad, just steps into office. You know what I mean?
He does what he
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
He say what he wants. He's like freely
He
expressive.
literally
Yeah.
called what's Kim Jong Un like Nuke Man, and, like,
Yeah,
little
yeah.
boy or something.
He does whatever the fuck he wants.
Crazy guy.
That's why I was talking about like the Simpson theory, how the next Simpson theory where they predicted the zombie virus, where the main character, whoever the fuck that guy's name was, I forgot. But like he ate like there's like this burger that came out and like affected everybody.
Mm.
But that's like the
This new virus?
Yeah, this new virus, which is happening right now.
It's
If
actually
you
happening?
go on like the news and search stuff jump like what's it called, the zombie virus or something? Try that up. Try searching up. Yeah, this one. Like,
This one?
is it that one? Is it? It's very recent.
March 8th?
It might be that one then. Check it out.
Oh, I think I heard about that one.
Was it this one?
Is it the one?
No, I don't think it's this one. It's like where it's in, human infection. It might be this one actually. I'm not sure, but because I read mine in Chinese, it's not in English. Like I read the news from like Chinese, like in Chinese, so I'm not too sure. But like it's in Chinese, it's called like the 僵尸病毒. Like
Honestly,
zombie
like
virus.
life has been so boring. I wouldn't mind a zombie virus coming in,
Like an update, yeah? A new update?
like a new update.
It's getting boring, eh? The COVID update wasn't enough.
That was the most like those.
It's the most boring update. Sleeper
update, bro.
Sleeper update.
Honestly, like in my life, I'm more scared of the way I die than dying itself. The thing is, I'm the type of guy that just give up, you know. Like let's say what's it called? Like in a game, when like let's say I'm crossing somewhere, and then someone starts shooting me, I wouldn't even shoot back. Like just kill me. Bro.
Oh, you know you're dead.
I know I'm dead, right? Like if I die, I die. Like what am I gonna do?
So if you get ganked, and then for example, you in League, like you get ganked by the jungler and you have no flash, you know you're dead. You just stand there.
I just stand there. Like why would I accept the fate? I'm that kind of guy.
Oh, you're not trying to fight back.
I'll fight back on some things, but on things that
You know the
I
result.
know the result. I'm not gonna fight back. You know.
I think it's
I'm
more
not
like
gonna go against them.
I think it's more like poker, right? Like just know when to hold them, know when to fold.
Oh, know when to fold, know when
Yeah.
to fold. Yes.
Yeah.
And like what's it called? That's what I mean. Like I'm more scared of the way I die than like the way.
Then dying itself.
Like what's it called? I saw a video the other day of 9/11. Like there were a lot of jumpers.
Yes.
Would you rather be eaten by the fire, or would you jump?
I'm jumping.
Would you actually jump?
I'm jumping.
I don't think they were eaten by a fire. They died because of the smoke.
Of the crash.
Is it the smoke?
Yes.
Yeah, it's mainly the smoke. The fire wasn't a
Really?
problem.
Fire's not a problem.
Fire
Because
wasn't a
when you hit, like smoke is
When
more
you
damaging.
jump down, like let's say you jump down, let's
You
say
get-
jumper,
You
You have a chance to live.
do you die right away?
No, it's like a slow burn.
Yeah.
So when you die, you're in the air, right? So then there's so much like pressure.
You lose
So-
consciousness.
No, I mean like you're jumping. There's no fire on you.
No, I'm
But-
okay. So
What do you
when
mean?
when you jump down like without
From-
any
yeah.
like say like I don't know like 6,000 feet in the air, right? You jump down. I'm pretty sure you die, like your brain shuts off before you hit the ground.
Yeah.
So the impact, you're not dying from the impact of you hitting the ground and your head
Yeah, it wasn't-
exploding.
yeah, it's-
you
You
die
don't-
in the
you
air
don't.
before you drop.
Yeah. So you actually feel it more.
Yes.
In a way, just because like you'll be in the air and then with all the pressure and then you start like losing your skin or whatever. It's
Your
just-
consciousness shuts off.
Yeah.
Like your brain
Yeah.
tells you you're dead,
So by the time
and then you die.
yeah, by the time you lay your falls,
You
like,
won't feel anything. You're saying.
You're dead already.
you're dead already. By the time you fall on the ground, you're basically you're already dead.
There's no. You don't feel
That's
the
good.
boom.
But
the
then
impact.
like all your flesh are like flat.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like paper. It's gonna be paper.
I saw them on what's it called? So
Paper thin.
I told you I saw a video of jumpers. They showed a video of the guy like he was on the ground, from falling. He was paper thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the meat, all the like the meat.
Got melted
It's
essentially.
the oil in your body, the fat. It's all gone.
Yeah.
From big,
Easy.
but like you're not gonna feel most of that. You're
Yeah.
dead by like. So say you jump down from 6,000, you're dead by like 4K. Like
It's
you
like-
jump down 2K, you're down. Like once you're at 4,000 feet, you're probably dead. Already.
You're getting cooked in the air essentially.
Yeah.
It's like,
The pressure cooks you. It's like an air.
That's kind of nice.
it's like air pressure.
It's
like
a
the
pressure
submarine.
cooker. Pressure cooker.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, you're dead. You're dead by. So
Yeah.
you don't like it's. So when people think about like jumping off, dying, of like shit, it's gonna hurt so much when you hit the ground, bro. You're not gonna be like on the ground. You're dead.
Yeah. If you jump
If-
that from that high.
You jump off the CN Tower, you're gonna die before you hit the ground. Because your consciousness shuts you off because you know you're gonna die.
That's good to hear.
You're not gonna live.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why there's the whole like the whole thing where like some people think that they're dead. Like, okay, so have you guys heard of the it's one of the I saw yeah, so there's like a lot of you guys probably it's not in like very familiar in North America, but in like Asian culture, like they talk about like the stuff they do to like to criminals, right? So there's one thing called the I told you guys about last time with Andy and stuff, but like so there's a guy, so they slit your wrist open, right?
Okay.
They're like, so you get blindfolded, they slit your wrist open, like just a little cut. So there's like a little blood, but beside your wrist they put water. They drip water.
Wait, what?
So what happens is like you go like this, right? You're blindfolded. They cut your wrist open, so blood drips down. You can search it. It's like real. So blood drips down, right? And then they actually covered your wound already, but they dip water. They like drip water beside you, so you feel you think it's blood dripping, and you die. Even though your wounds are healed, your consciousness thinks your blood keeps dripping, so you're dead.
Yeah.
But you're actually not. Like, bro, there's no cut.
So do they die?
Yeah, they die. Their consciousness, like, you're gone.
So what is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing. You can search it up. When you go home, search it up. So it's like,
isn't that illegal?
no, but I'm saying like this is back then. It's like it's one of the things they did. It's like so in Chinese it's like I forgot what it's called, but it's like so what happens is that's the whole thing with consciousness. That's when I asked you guys about like what you believe in.
That's kind of sick.
It's insane because so there's a whole thing where it's like there's also the thing where it's like they drip water on your not drip water, sorry, that's a different thing, but like so the whole thing is just like even though
you're tricking your mind.
you're tricking your mind that you're dead.
Exactly.
Like I cut your wrist open. Like I tell you you're blindfolded, and I tell you I'm like, but I don't cut you with a knife. I cut you with something like it feels very sharp, but it's actually not sharp, and you don't drip any blood. I'm like, bro, Aaron,
there's no blood at all.
there's no blood at all.
Oh, wow.
Or they might cut it like a little open so you can actually feel
But
it.
you close it right away.
They like seal it up, right? And then on beside it or like close to it where you can hear, everything's like quiet. You're in that room, everything's empty, everything's quiet, and all you do is you have your blindfold on and you're just sitting there, and then like they told you your wrist is slit open, and they tell you they're gonna leak your blood to death. They heal it up and they just drip water. That's like one of the most cool things you can do to
they also did a thing, something similar.
you right? You heard about it.
Yeah,
It's in Chinese culture.
It's something similar to yours, but this one it's on YouTube. I forgot what it's called. Basically, they had somebody same thing, blindfolded and everything. They had the guy's fake hand like on the table, and the other guy's real hand like under the table, like it's being covered. You can't feel it, right? And that's a fake hand, real hand, and there's a real hand. So you're trying to like grab like a steak or whatever, or a knife or something, trying to like hit it, the fake hand, chop the finger off.
Wouldn't the guy feel it though?
He felt it.
No, like if his hand is like here.
He felt it. It felt like it was his real hand because his mind is thinking that this is his real hand.
Okay.
Even though he got chopped off a little bit, or his finger got chopped off, the fake hand, he felt the pain. He suddenly he just like let go. All of a sudden.
It's like human mind. It's like it's really
so bad.
it's really bad because it feels really bad. So you know how the whole thing it's like so babies have that consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Babies have that consciousness. So when you hold a baby, right? Say you like bump their head into the wall, but you don't actually hit their head into the wall. And you like slam it like that. You slam your hand. Right? So say this is the baby,
That's
right?
punishment.
Say this is the baby like this. This is the wall, right? So you like do this to the baby, but instead of like hitting their head against the wall, you hit your hand like this. You're like, oh, and then you tell the baby, it's like, oh, don't worry. They start crying.
Okay, baby.
They start crying, even though they don't feel any pain.
Why would you know that?
Huh? Because don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But like that's the whole thing with like one of the like it's like the tortures in the world where they literally trick yourself to death. They make you die. Like I don't kill you.
See,
you kill yourself.
I was talking yesterday. I was telling you about how powerful the human like mind is.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Like
crazy.
Some days like I get off work, I'm so tired. Right. And then I start like playing games or I start streaming or I start like playing or streaming or whatever. Right. I literally like wake up. I feel like I just woke up again and like I'm fresh. You know what I mean? Like you can
Trick your
being
mind.
tired is just it's state of
It's
mind.
a state of mind.
Yes.
It's not a real thing. Like right now I'm so fucking tired because I barely slept. But I can literally just snap if I know like the right things to do. That's why I feel like we need a study on how to like train your mind, become more powerful.
That's true.
That's the
what I'm
number
saying.
one thing.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it comes down to like psychology. You just have to know like how the human mind
Exactly,
human brain works. That's why history repeats itself. Just because
Fuck math, fuck all this history. Teach me about mind.
that's why history like repeats itself. Just because like everybody is like wired like similar in a way.
Yeah.
So you can kind of know you can kind of predict what's gonna happen. That's why prediction are so real. Just because you're able to read people's mind and able to tell exactly what the other person wants, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel really good. I don't feel really good about
What
that.
do you guys think about the VR stuff? You know,
That-
remember how about the
that's-
Apple thing? They released
Yes.
the
I
Apple
don't-
released
They released a new VR.
the VR.
They did Apple VR.
It's like 3,500.
Apple
Fuck.
VR.
Yeah.
So everybody seems
The
to love it,
VR.
right? Just because you can see interact with it like in real life. But
Oh
with
shit! It
hands.
goes with like
Basically-
Siri and shit. Like what's with Siri?
It's-
Imagine like you're. I watched a video on it. I don't know if it's a trailer, but basically it's like like they're inputting ads in our daily life. Let's say I'm wearing the Vision Pro
Mhm.
and I'm just walking. I'll literally see ads popping up like IRL pop up
Oh
ads.
shit!
Like, I look at this, I'll be like, oh shit, that's Kirkland. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it shows you like advertisement like everywhere. It
Let's
just-
say I know
What
you.
the
Let's say I know you and I know you.
Uh-huh.
I look at you. I literally see your information beside left. Kunteng
Yeah.
Wang, how old you are, my relationship to you. You know.
Like,
Where
And
you
then on the
live.
side there's an ad.
yeah.
Maybe there's not. And then,
Like,
like,
maybe, yeah.
what was cool about it was that, wow, what was it? If you call someone, right? So the Vision Pro is like they're making a more mainstream one. This is like a prototype.
Oh, okay.
You know, like the first iPhone was released.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's more
So like the Vision Pro, like the new like the more mainstream ones, it's gonna have a full body scan of you. Let's say I call you, instead of having it on speaker,
I'm gonna see.
a
You're gonna see.
hologram. You know Star Wars?
Yeah.
Like when they talk.
It's like the
about
Iron Man
hologram.
shit. It's like the Iron Man
Yeah,
shit.
I literally
They have a
see-
little person that.
Exactly.
Fuck, that's so sick.
And then the thing is, the Vision Pro is like a VR headset. Like, why would I go outside wearing this shit? You know?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to develop it to like
Like glasses.
glasses or contacts. Contacts would be crazy if they did that. But imagine like I call you, I literally see you standing in front of me. You know, that's sick.
That is sick.
Like it is safe, but in a way, it's like that's another way they can control you, right?
It's the
It's
whole
like
multiverse shit
one
again,
step,
bro.
one step forward. You know, like
Putting you
it's
into
getting
virtual.
closer to your body. You know, or like with the whole like almost like the whole Neuralink, like
Mhm.
you know, that's gonna be like they'll be like, oh, like pay me $500 every single month, whatever. You can be just like Andrew Tate, like super muscular
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
multiverse, right? Super powerful, whatever. You can think just like him, be as smart like him, but like it's like the moment you stop paying or whatever, right? They can just stop you right away.
Stop all your power.
They stop all your power, so you basically you're left with nothing.
It's like those subscription. It's like you
You're
buy
being
those
controlled, yeah.
subscription for skins. You know how COD works. Call of Duty, right? Modern
Yeah.
Warfare, where it's like you buy a skin, it only works for that gun, and then when the new update comes out, you gotta buy it.
That's really
That's
in Call of Duty Warzone. I bought the Attack on Titan bundle, and they updated to a new map. I didn't have my bundle anymore.
yeah. That's the whole thing where it's like that's the same thing. It's like you have to
And
keep
you know-
purchasing.
You know Warzone, it's closing down like next month. The whole thing.
Wait, really?
Warzone?
You know Call of Duty Warzone?
Yeah.
The-
The biggest Call of Duty game. It's closing down forever.
Why?
Because I think they're moving on with it.
Oh shit.
Mm.
And I'm
Even
just saying,
PUBG's not dead yet. It was once not dead before
everything
that.
everything that people bought is like gone.
Which is insane. It's
But see, like that's like a yearly scam. Like Call of
Yeah.
Duty always does a scam, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
that's sort of like that.
It's whatever, you know. But the more we age, the more things get advanced.
You just gotta adapt to it. Really.
But like,
So
you think about like now, like we're young people, how like adapt easily. Like how like you think about like the older generation shit. It's like how hard it's gonna take for them to like understand
Yeah.
the new like generation.
Yeah. Another
You're talking,
thing.
the old, you're talking about how the old generation is gonna advance or gonna.
Like that's not gonna happen. They like how are they? They're just never gonna keep up.
They're never gonna keep
Yeah.
up.
With the pace like we're going right now.
Yeah. And also another thing I would say, right? You know how we were talking about the whole distraction, the whole pride, and like all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Just imagine this, like with the whole technology is being so advanced, we have to like constantly keep up, right? Meanwhile, they're keeping us distracted with some other shit, right? It's like there's like a gap. You know what I mean? The moment you're not being kept up, you're gonna be left behind.
You get sidetracked.
You get sidetracked with all those like distractions and everything, right? So obviously you're gonna be outdated, and the AI is gonna replace you, whatever. Then you're gonna become poorer, right? So it's like a gap, you know what I'm saying?
It's just going on wider and wider.
Because
Wider
You
and
can't
wider,
catch up
yeah.
with the time, you know.
That's why you have to. That's why like I guess it's so important to not waste time trying to like always like be up to date with like what's going on, how you can like seize the opportunity with what's happening.
It's the whole thing with like the ChatGPT shit.
Yeah.
It's
There's
like,
just way too many
Once it comes
distractions.
out,
Yeah.
like before, like legitimately before people knew about ChatGPT, if you actually used it to write essays and actual stuff, you didn't even have to like review it yourself. You can just submit it like to the thing, and they won't notice because there's no like ChatGPT 0 to like scan the AI shit, right?
Yeah.
It's like literally when it just came out, there were so much opportunities for you to like gain or stuff to gain off of that. Right?
Recently, ChatGPT, Windows. It can generate Windows key.
Actually?
Yeah, you can tell ChatGPT like, I need a Windows key. It's gonna go on the web or whatever. It's gonna give you all they patched it recently, but it was such a powerful AI.
Windows 11 and share, right?
Any Windows you want, bro. Yeah. And it's so powerful, but it's been nerfed so much. It's been filtered. You know what I mean?
They want to control the AI
It's
because that's uncontrollable, right? Like that's pathing towards like uncontrollable AI, right? If you like if that keeps processing like AI, you know how like there's movies about it where it's like the day AI like the number one rule of AI is just like not to kill humans and shit like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, but then like AI, there's like a movie about it, but I forgot what's it called. But like so like their number one rule they make AI, right? Number one rule they give the AI is to cannot hurt humans. That's like number one rule they ingrain in AI. But like the AI's developed so much that they realize that like say that humans are damaging society, right? And that like if that keeps processing, it's gonna later on damage themselves. So AIs like figure out a way to like wipe out half of the human race to preserve humans, right? So it's like that. It's like keeps developing. It develops to a way where like it's uncontrollable anymore.
Makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. I just feel like life is like the hardest like RPG out there.
Yeah, it's a game. It's literally a game.
It's real life RPG.
Right? Like a lot of people have a sense of like they get too into the game. Like I want to be the highest level in this game. I want to max out my stats. Bro, max out your IRL stats. You know what I mean? Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
And there's so many things in life you have to worry about. Like first of all, you're worried about like your job, right? That's already hard enough. Getting a good job, all this stuff, being successful.
Just living, not even successful, just living.
Just like the bare minimum, right? And then let's say you're living, you have health problems. Like what the fuck? What are you doing to me, man? Like I'm having a hard time with my job. You give me health problems.
Oh, speaking about like video games or RPG, you know how like have you guys played Sims?
Yeah,
Sims, yes.
So Sims, like for you to level up, you have to get a job. You have to regularly have a proper routine. Why aren't people doing that with their life?
That's true. If they can do that in Sims, why can't
If they can do that with Sims for you to level up faster, why aren't people doing that with their life?
I don't know. Like I feel like people are just like these days. There's so many distractions.
Too many updates, man. Too many updates.
It's like he's a truth teller, you know. He says a lot of other shit at times, but like most of the time, he's giving good advice, right? People these days they're way easily distracted by so many things that even like a discussion that we're having is already rare in this age.
This is like an outlier. What we're having is like what we're saying is like an outcast. You know?
Yeah.
Andrew Tate is sort of like against the norm. He is an outcast if you compare them to like regular society, right? So
it's just crazy to me how helpless people are these days. You know, like I'm telling you, everyone is their autopilot. Nobody knows what they're doing, and I don't know. As a person who's like living their life, it's just sad. People like I'm aware when I'm addicted to something, when I'm spending too much time on something. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Like people just gotta wake up, you know. But it is what it is, man. Like I try to live my life, but outside factors are also like there. You know, like COVID, war. Like if I do my best living, like that's the craziest part. If I do my best, working hard, living my life, being successful, having disciplines, having sacrifices, it's not even enough because there's always gonna be outside factors that are gonna impact my life. You know, let's say I work hard for 10 years. I don't know, the war breaks out. I'm fucked.
I mean, you can move, right? If you're rich. You can move
I know.
But that's so like that forces you onto something. It's like, why did I have to move? You know, it's like
Exactly.
I've already worked so
And
hard.
these days, like as I said, like minimum wage is not gonna get you anywhere. Even like as a middle class person, you wouldn't really go anywhere except for like you're kind of like mid, and like the mid's being pushed out already, right? you literally have to.
You have to be rich.
You have to like hustle, passive income. You know, like you have to come up with all these type of schemes just to live life.
Like you have to be the top
survive,
like
yeah.
5% of the population
Yeah.
to actually live a fulfilling life.
Well, I mean,
Well, not fulfilling, but like to live like to
I mean,
not get affected by like outside.
I feel like it's just gonna get worse like as time goes on, right?
Mhm.
Like you just gotta like keep adapting. Maybe that's why like focusing on yourself is so important. You know, just gotta keep.
But you think we can live until that day of the Great Reset?
The thing is,
To
I feel
fully
like
happy.
the great reset is gonna be like 2030-ish.
Yeah,
Or
that's
that's when it starts,
That's
yeah.
where their prediction.
But how long is it gonna take? Like it's gonna take at least, I think,
It's gonna take a long time.
maybe
Yeah.
hundreds of years, or 20, 10,
With
30,
the-
40.
With the way it's going right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like probably like 100 years ago when you think about it, like 100 years ago, people would think like we'll have flying cars by now, right?
Yeah.
But now like what do you see? Like fucking
Nothing,
fans, like
Yeah.
only
Only.
shaking their ass on you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you know.
I know what you mean. I mean, like, yeah, like as a society, we're literally going down.
Downhill.
You know.
Yeah.
And the craziest part is, I feel like the government wants us to fail.
Because they don't care. Like they're rich themselves. They don't like need to care.
They don't need to. They don't need to care.
It's so hard, man.
Yeah,
I just want to live a simple life. You know, be happy. You know, work
good.
a little bit, but then also have time. Because I feel like without a job, you don't have a purpose, right? Without a job, you don't have a purpose. So I feel like you have to have a job, have a mission out there.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be spending 12 hours a day just to survive. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like every day I'm in the self-improvement space, right? Well, I have a to-do list I'm doing, you know the challenge we have.
Yeah.
I have to keep pushing, you know. But sometimes I just wanna
Relax.
go to bed late, sleep till the afternoon.
Play some
It's
some
not
video
possible,
games.
you know. And like recently, I've taken on streaming. I've been streaming a lot recently, right? And as much as I want to continue like streaming, because I honestly love what I'm doing, I can't do it. Because I have other things I need to do. You know what I mean? I gotta progress my life, and that's the sad part. Like I can't even do things I enjoy, so I can't do it.
I feel like you just gotta make some sacrifices
That's the thing.
on certain things.
There's nothing else I can take out.
That's true. It's hard to sub. It's hard to
You know?
sub this, sub stuff in, sub stuff out.
Like when I focus too much on games, like
You lose stuff.
you lose a lot of stuff, right? Like I love spending time with my sister. Like my sister's so young; she's only 9. That is like it's crucial, you know. Like I want to be there for her when she grows older, right? And because I feel like if you distance yourself at a young age, especially like core memories, even though like imagine you were like when you were a child, things that were happening to you that weren't special, you still remember them because like it's like a nostalgia, you know, core memory.
That's what I miss from working.
Hmm?
That's what I miss from working. You know, like going out Saturdays, Sundays to
Yeah,
have fun and
yeah.
shit, like Disney, or like people go with Wonderland. That's what I miss from working.
But at the same time,
From
you
working?
can.
What do you mean?
Yeah, because like if like every summer I would work, so pretty much you won't see me go out in the summer,
Yeah.
right? So like you miss opportunities to go out with like friends.
I
and,
remember
like, stuff
so
like
many
that.
memories when I was young. It's crazy.
Oh hell nah, I don't remember shit.
You don't.
No, I don't have any.
I do, and I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I feel like it's crucial. That's why if I stream too much, if I go out too much, and I don't see my sister, I feel so bad inside. Like, wow, I didn't.
But at the same time, you can always create new opportunities. Right?
You could.
You can
You
look
could.
at a new future,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because past is already, I can't change.
Past, yeah, the past in the past. My
Focus
past
on
is
the
fucked.
future, right? So,
I don't know. I just want to relax in my life, you know, but I can't.
Mm.
It's so sad. Right? I just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm so tired, man.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of literally hustling every day.
I think we've
It's,
been.
we've been talking for almost 2 hours.
2
so
hours?
It's coming to an end. We've pretty much
Yeah.
covered a lot of
Covered.
topics. This is
I hope that the mics weren't messed up. This is the trial run with the mic setup.
yeah, this is our first.
How long
one.
was the first podcast again?
An hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, this one's in
This is
like
2 hours. It's an hour and 49. I just
Hour
checked.
49.
It doesn't look messed up.
think it's fine.
Like when I test it, look like hello, hello, hello. See, it turns red.
Say hello.
Hello?
Oh, I think it's good then.
Hello?
It's been good.
Hello?
It's been good.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Because mine look. Oh, hello. Wait, what?
I don't know. It's good. It's good. It's good.
My top two turns to.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, I have two inputs. Look. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. 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 I think mine's not working.
Hello? Mine's on.
Hello.
Mine's the third.
Hello. See, mine is top two.
Hello?
Say hello.
Hello?
Hello. 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 Hello.
I mean, I think it's fine.
It's fine. We'll check. We can check the audio right now once we're done. So, we'll do the outro. Is there any outro?
Is there any questions?
Yeah,
If
any
you guys
question?
any questions you guys want to ask us, you know, feel free to ask
Please,
these guys.
leave in the comments below. TikTok. We'll post this on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, YouTube.
Of course. Of course.
Check out our
course.
other channels. It'll be
Check out the channels.
It's in our.
Links
It's in the description.
are down below.
Check out our Instagrams. Jonathan, thank you for coming
Yeah,
out.
thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for
having
coming
me.
Thank you for coming,
Thank you.
Jonathan.
Yeah, so we'll have it in our
Thank you.
Man.
we'll have it in our comment section. Go check them out.
Yeah.
I feel like the
Questions,
more
let
we
me
do
know.
this, the better we get.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like it's not very structured,
Yeah.
and like I understand that, but
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
just
good
the
thing. That's a
beginning.
good
So
thing,
just
you
the
know?
beginning.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes you gotta start fresh. You know, how are you gonna get experience with no experience?
All right. So we'll see you guys later. And
That's
if you wanna more of our content, check Aaron's channels and my channels. If you want to see more of us, check 300 weeks. Our challenge is going on there. And that one's the camera. That one.
That was the camera. That was the
Middle.
camera.
All right. So peace out,
cool.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you so
it.
much. Thank you.
So,
later,
everybody.
Peace
Later.
out.
Later.